He keeps kicking me in the dick. Why? Why does he keep kicking me in the dick?
If you wanna run away with me, I know a galaxy and I can take you for a ride. I had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm where the music don't stop for life. Glitter in the sky, glitter in my eyes, shining just the way you lie. If you're feeling like you need a little bit of company, you met me at the perfect time. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating.
How's it going, everybody? And welcome to the last bastion of sanity for this portion of the internet, the Last Vox. I want you to go ahead and sit back, relax, and grab your favorite beverage, because I want you to understand that you are, without a doubt, the most intelligent person on this planet, according to who we talk about on this show. My name is Matt. How's it going, everybody? I know this Last Vox is a little early. It's a Thursday. It's usually a Sunday show, but, well, and as you can tell, I got headphones on because this is going to be a different type of Last Vox. Some things have come to light, some things have come about, and some things, well, need to be discussed. So that's what this show is going to be about today, ladies and gentlemen. You see the title, you clicked on it, you know what this is going to be about. And some of you have actually seen it in the chat. Now, this is going to be an open discussion, but this is after I get, and to be part of it, if you want to be a part of it, it's not just come in and talk. If you want to be on the show today, you need to actually have either experienced some of the stuff we're going to be talking about today, or have a relatively good opinion on it. This is not just something where you're going to come hang out. So, in order for you to be a part of this, you need to actually be part of the Discord, which there is a link to the Discord down below. I believe you guys are all part of it already. And if you want to, you go ahead and you wait in the green room. And when I'm ready to bring you guys on, I'll drag you in. But I'm going to be joined by somebody, and I'm going to jump into the Discord call, the Discord streaming call right now. Oh. Hi, I can hear myself on whatever you're listening to.
That's because I didn't know when you were going to join in, and I was listening to you and your melodious voice talk.
Oh, well, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by the lovely Ishtar.
Hello, hello, hello.
No, Zeo Gold, these are not Ishtar's headphones. Funnily enough, I got headphones for Christmas, right? From your parents, mine now, in-laws. And they did not work. They stopped working. So I ended up buying some that just lit up, and they just happened to be the same ones that Ishtar got. So.
Yep.
Alright, so before we go any farther, we're going to go ahead and say hello to the people who are in chat. I can't see who's first. Who's first? There's someone underneath there. Dark. Okay, so Dark actually got first. I think this is his first time getting first. So Dark Laser, or Research.
Ray got second.
Yeah, Researcher Dark got first. Ray got second. Mitzi is third, and Nathan got fourth. So he's our honorable mention. Hello, everyone. And then let's see. I think that Zeo Gold is here, and I think that's it for right now. So, what are we going to be discussing, Ishtar?
We're going to be discussing you being tired of stupid people.
There is that. Being tired of stupid people.
Particularly stupid people who have no life and think that there is no harm done in trying to ruin other people's lives. And who apparently are so dumb they can't comprehend the fact that, yes, in this day and age, your actions online do affect real life. Brockus is currently pointing menacingly at Ace. Oh, I couldn't... Oh, okay. I could not tell which one it was because they're over there. By the way, we're going out of town this weekend. Can you feed the cats? That's fine, as long as you feed them.
No, we are not talking about Antifa. Ishtar, mute yourself. So, guys, I'm going to be talking about something. So, I posted something on Twitter. And what I'm going to go over, it really quick for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, who haven't seen it, because there have been things going on. Some of you have experienced actually in this chat. You're probably going to experience tonight because they can't help themselves. So, hold on just a second here. Let me get the... So, I decided to tweet something out. And I'm going to read it, and we're going to extrapolate on it, because I actually have some things to go over because of some of the responses to this. I'm sure most people agree that the term cyberbullying is a real thing. So is cyber harassment. In a day and age where the majority of your interactions are done online, especially because of last year... Oh, hey Naomi, yes, you of course can hang out. I don't have a problem with that. These terms are even more important now than ever. There's also another term, cyberstalking. This is a term used to define actions, stalking itself. What is stalking? Stalking is defined as to pursue or approach stealthily. Now, this is a descriptor term, as I said, and you can use it in a positive light, but in this case we're using it in a negative context. How does this go in terms of the context of cyberstalking? Well, that's actually easier to do than stalking someone off the internet. You just have to go through their timeline, or look up their email address to see what websites it's connected to, or hunt down their Facebook page. You don't even have to interact with the person. That is cyberstalking. It takes a certain minded person to do these things. Someone that is lonely or unhappy with their own lives. They like to try and make other people as miserable as they are. There are also others who like to deny these things exist. Those people are foolish. Those that deny it are more than likely someone who has participated in these actions or knows someone who has and justified their actions to themselves because they're friends. And they don't want to be associated with someone that they can think can do those sort of things. These things are real, and whether you believe they have no real-world consequences or not, they do. You can quote Tyler, the Creator, all you want. Now, I know for a fact, Ishtar, you don't know who Tyler, the Creator is, and there are a few people in this chat right now that may not know who Tyler, the Creator is. Tyler, the Creator is a self-made rap star. I have never heard any of his music. I just know him from his quote. And his quote is basically, how is internet bullying, or how is cyberbullying even real? All you have to do is turn off the screen. And then there's a bunch of ha 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 ha. This was quoted at the beginning of the birthplace of Twitter. So you can quote Tyler, the Creator, all you want. His statement was around the start of Twitter and before social media became a way for people to interact. Back when he started, people were using Twitter to post their food and things and talk about cats. Kind of like YouTube at the beginning of its rise to fame. Things have evolved and changed over time. To deny that makes you willfully ignorant and more than a little disingenuous. My opinion is pretty simple. If you don't like a person or want to see anything they do, mute them or block them. Do not go out of your way to interact. I do this as often as I can. If you insist on doing it because you want to upset them, you might actually be the problem. You should probably do something about that and fix your own life. And then, being my snarky self, at the end of it I said, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. So, I don't know if anybody has any problems with that statement. Ish, do you?
No?
I didn't think so. Now,
Seems reasonable.
yeah, and I would honestly believe it is reasonable.
Hi, Sparky.
How's it going, Sparky? So, you can go out of your way to bother somebody. And I know it's all considered, quote-unquote, trolling. There are different types of trolling. And I've discussed this before. Now, because of my little rant-ish, you know this, a bunch of people in the chat know this too, I got 2 videos made about me. One of them took 50 minutes.
Did you watch those?
I did not. And I won't. because...
Curious.
Oh, you watched them?
No, I was curious to know if you had watched them so that I could find out whether or not they were at all entertaining.
Well, one of them, the 50-minute one, I watched the first 3 minutes, so I can't say I didn't watch it completely. He got a view from me, because anything over 30 seconds is a view. So, the 50-minute one, the first 3 minutes were him making fun of my appearance, making fun of my camera, and that was it. And unfortunately, like, he compared me to Boogie, Boogie 2988. I don't know if you know who he is, because I know you don't know many internet people. But Boogie is a very famous YouTuber. He's got millions of followers. He was a very, very large man who had a character named Francis, which was an exaggerated nerd. Francis was like your neckbeard type. So, being compared to Francis, if that's what he was doing, because I don't know, or being compared to Boogie is not really a detriment to me, because you're comparing me to someone who's popular, so thank you very much. As for talking about my camera, it's a $40 camera, guys. Not much I can do about that. And this is coming from someone who streams from their phone and can't afford a decent laptop. But we won't go there. Now.
No. You're not supposed to call them out on their bullshit and their hypocrisy. You're just supposed to let them yell at you.
I know, I'm supposed to, because, you know, Matt and Antoine, we were, I'm breaking the immersion, guys. I'm sorry. You guys know Antoine is just a character, right?
No. Antoine is real. You can't convince me.
So, we were basically pushovers back then, apparently. Taking the niceness that I was trying to give to everybody and trying to collaborations with people and get into people and get on streams and things like that, being nice and being funny, was apparently me being walked all over. So, the other video, you ready for a term that's a blast from the past? The other video was from someone who's stuck in 2016 and still believes that there are certain internet rules that don't actually exist. I got called a triggered SJW.
You, an SJW.
Now, I think that's pretty fucking funny for one reason.
That is hilarious.
Nobody uses that term anymore. Now, they do talk about social justice, but there's not social justice warriors out there anymore. Because more than a few people, me being one of them, pointed out that there are social justice warriors on both sides, the far right and the far left. So you can't, if you're calling someone a social justice warrior, basically what you're saying is they're standing up for a portion of social justice they agree with. So, okay, let's talk about one of the things that they like bringing up. One of the defenses for this stuff, it's just trolling. This it's just trolling thing is the new version of it's just a joke.
Here's the thing. It's just a joke, bro, was never convincing. Nobody believed it was just a joke.
Well, I mean, when you defend... Yes, Sparky, this will be a call-in show. When you defend something so adamantly, like, I don't know, tweeting bestiality porn at people, it stops being a troll, it stops being a joke, and starts being something that you stand up for.
Yeah.
And the person who is... One of the responses that I was shown, because I have them muted, was just a GIF, because they never have anything interesting to say, just a GIF of a laptop closing and it says cyberbullying. This is from the same person who gets pissy when you mute them or when you block them. So pissy, in fact, that they go to their alt accounts to start following you and trolling you that way. And when you do it again, they get even more pissy. See, their version of stopping trolling is getting you, and in the way I'm speaking you, this is the royal you, to leave the internet. That's not trolling. Trolling is getting under someone's skin to the point where they rage. I haven't been raging. Okay? Then there's the other types of trolling that you guys in the chat have experienced over the last few shows. I can guarantee that they're watching right now in a little Discord call so they can talk like a bunch of hens with each other and bitch. It's showing up in a bot account, or not a bot account, a sock account in chats trying to show people's real names. See, back in 2016 when all this stuff really got going, that was called doxing. And one of these people who is still stuck in 2016 also believes that once you state an opinion, it doesn't matter what your experiences are over the last few years, you're not allowed to change that opinion. You have to state what it is from the moment you said it. You can't change, you can't grow, you can't change your mind, you can't have your experiences influence how you have learned. So I don't believe anymore that first names, are doxes. Hell, I use my first name. And anybody who actually is paying attention to the channel has a real easy way of finding my last name. And someone did decide to try and come into my chat on MSNBC using my full name. They got it wrong because they're morons, and the person that they got the information from, a drunk, gay, furry griffin, gave them the wrong information. So.
Yes, they did.
Nope, go ahead.
To be perfectly honest, we just hid them. If they're gonna be here and harassing them, we'll just hide them. They can give us views, it's fine. We don't have to listen to them.
Ray says Matt in 2016. That redhead is hot. Matt in 2021. That redhead is hot. You know, you're not wrong.
His redhead fetish has gone just forever.
Oh, Dark is pointing out I have 2 dislikes.
Ooh.
Oh no, you gave me more interaction. Thank you very much.
Not that. Everybody in the chat, go ahead and smash that like button.
Yes, we are thirsty for your likes. Smash them. Share this around. We are shilling ourselves, because anything you do to promote yourself is shilling. Even if you're talking to people who actually watch you and want to be fans and do things and interact with you. We're begging for likes. We're begging for retweets just by mentioning it, just to let you know. So, before we get people in here, I want to go... You don't help it. I don't know what Sparky is saying you don't help with, but we're going to go over something from Twitter. Now, Sparky knows about Twitter's terms of service. I know about Twitter terms of service. And most people don't. They just kind of assume. So I actually went to Twitter and found their rules and policies. Uh-oh. See, that's what you did, Ishtar. You caused Sparky to dislike.
Well, Sparky is kind of a dork. So we kind of expect
He is a lovable dork. But yeah, he's a dork.
Still a dork.
I can't argue with the fact he's a 9-foot tall basketball American, and just, he can lift 200-pound tires over his head. I'm not going to compete with that. When I look up to somebody, I tend to, try and pat them on the head and say, good job. Oh, he's saying you don't dislike, or you don't help because of the redhead thing. Well, okay, Ray says Twitter rules. Thou shalt not mock the check marks. That's an unwritten Twitter rule. But we're going to actually talk about abusive behavior. Now, this is from Twitter themselves. So, Abusive behavior. Twitter rules. You may not engage in the targeted harassment of someone or incite other people to do so. We consider abusive behavior an attempt to harass, intimidate, or silence someone else's voice. How's it going, Hook? The rationale. On Twitter, you should feel safe expressing your unique point of view. Aside from the fact that we know all of this is bullshit for certain points of view. We're going to go with what they're saying. We believe in freedom of expression and open dialogue, but that means little as an underlying philosophy if voices are silenced because people are afraid to speak up. In order to facilitate healthy dialogue on the platform and empower individuals to express diverse opinions and beliefs, we prohibit behavior that harasses or intimidates, or is otherwise intended to shame or degrade others.
Of course, it's something that goes along with whatever current political climate we are fostering.
How's it going, Clever? In addition to posing risks to people's safety, abusive behavior may also lead to physical and emotional hardship for those affected. And then says, learn more about our approach to policy development and our enforcement philosophy. When this applies, and this does go towards some things that have been going on. Some tweets may seem to be abusive when viewed in isolation, but may not be when viewed in the context of a larger conversation. When we review this type of content, it may not be clear whether it is intended to harass an individual, or if it is part of a consensual conversation. To help our teams understand the context of a conversation, we may need to hear directly from the person being targeted, to ensure that we have the information needed prior to taking any enforcement action. How's it going, Trisha? We will review and take action against reports of accounts targeting an individual or group of people with any of the following behavior within tweets or direct messages. For accounts engaging in abusive behavior on their profile, please refer to our abusive profile policy. For behavior targeting people based on their race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affiliation, age, disability, or serious disease, this may also be in violation of our hateful conduct policy. So here are some examples. Wishing or hoping or calling for serious harm on a person or group of people. This is kind of self-explanatory. Don't do this. The whole kill yourself thing, don't do that.
It's not even funny when you add in Minecraft.
Yeah,
nobody buys that.
Some examples they give. Yeah, some examples they give is I hope you get cancer and die. Wishing for someone to fall victim to a serious accident. I wish that you would get run over by a car next time you run your mouth. Saying a group of individuals deserve serious physical injury. If this group of protesters don't shut up, they deserve to be shot.
In general, these things make you kind of a shitty person. Don't be a shitty person.
Yes.
It's not a difficult concept.
Now, they do give a little caveat by saying, I wish all rapists to die or child abusers should be hanged. They don't lock your account, or they won't delete your account or suspend you and put you in Twitter jail for those. They will ask you to delete the tweets. Unwanted sexual advances. While some consensual nudity and adult content is permitted on Twitter, real quick, there is an entire porn section of Twitter. There's an adults section. They permit a lot of things. How's it going, Pat? We prohibit unwanted sexual advances and the content that sexually objectifies an individual without their consent. This includes, but is not limited to, sending someone unsolicited and or unwanted adult media, including images, videos, and ta-da! GIFs. Hey, you want to tweet someone scat and bestiality porn unwanted? That's considered an unwanted sexual advance. That's something against TOS. That is also something that, a
decent human being doesn't do. Wait, I almost forgot who we're talking about.
Yeah. Hey, Brockus.
The type of people that we're talking about. Hi, Brockus. Hi, Patrick.
Braca says, I hope you shit a little too hard the next time you drop the kids off at the pool and you're mildly uncomfortable for the next hour or so when sitting.
I mean,
That's
harsh.
That's harsh. Everybody is a little uncomfortable when they've had too much Taco Bell or something. So yeah, that's kind of mean. Let's see. Unwanted sexual discussion of someone's body, and that could be as simple as someone saying that you have bitch tits or something like that.
What are bitch tits?
Male boobs, moobs.
Okay.
Solicitation of sexual acts. I don't think telling someone in a tweet thread "suck my dick" is gonna get that, but it's more of that stuff in DMs. Like, one of the people I follow today showed a couple of DMs, and one of them was basically, how much would it cost for me to get 20 minutes with you where you just let me pound your pussy? Unsolicited. For her. Yeah, but then the next tweet was him basically saying how much of a fan he is and how he loves her and just wants to marry her. I mean, it's...
That's a little creepy.
Yeah.
Don't do that, guys.
Yeah, that's not good. Any other content that otherwise sexualizes an individual without their consent. So,
All of Rule 34.
Well, yeah. But for those of you who think that that's okay and want to use a platform because it's just trolling, it's actually against the platform's terms of service. So when you get dinged for it and then you bitch about it because of your free speech, you are imposing yourself on someone else. And that's not really a good thing. When you decide you're going to post bestiality porn at someone, you're violating terms of service. How's it going, Righty? What did you just walk into? Well, we're discussing harassment, and we're going to get people in here shortly. Using aggressive insults with the purpose of harassing or intimidating others. We take action against excessive aggressive insults that target an individual, including content that contains slurs or similar language. Please note that while some individuals may find certain terms to be offensive, we will not action against every instance where insulting terms are used. We're talking like the N-word or things like that. Encouraging or calling for others to harass an individual or a group of people. You can't incite things. Just like the First Amendment, you can't incite people to do things. Denying mass casualty events took place. Don't do that either. Like, don't deny that Sandy Hook happened and things like that.
So many of these can be simplified down to, please don't be an asshole.
Yeah.
And yet that is more than most people can handle.
At least some people. Because they don't believe that, rules apply to them because they're just trolling. Now, we're going to get to the consequences, and then I'm going to bring up some terms that everybody knows, and then we're going to bring people in. When determining the penalty for violating this policy, we consider a number of factors, including, but not limited to, the severity of the violation and an individual's previous record or rule violations. What that means is, okay, take me for example. I get a 11-hour ban. Okay, I get put in Twitter jail for 11 hours. Within a certain amount of time, if I get dinged again to where I violate it, they bump it up to 7 days, right? And then they bump it up to 30 days, and then they do have then after that, within a certain amount of time, they'll just get rid of your account. These things stack. So, one of the things that I have learned to do over the last few years is just, as Sparky will say, block, report, move on. I don't have a problem with blocking people. I don't have a problem with muting people. My Twitter experience is my Twitter experience for a reason. I don't need to have you involved in it. For example, we may ask someone to remove the violating content and serve a period of time in read-only mode before they can tweet again. Subsequent violations will lead to longer read-only periods and may eventually result in permanent suspension. If an account is engaging primarily in abusive behavior, we may permanently suspend the account upon initial review. So, if you decide to make a trolling account and you are just a piece of shit the entire time, your first violation could be your last. So, this kind of goes with my last one, right? My last Vox. Can trolling go too far? According to these sites, they can. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, they all go by the same TOS, guys. They all go through the same exact set of rule books. Reading Twitter's TOS, you can go to Facebook and expect the same thing. You can go to YouTube and expect the same thing, with little alterations here or there. Now, there was a response to my tweets that I read out earlier, but of course, because I have them muted and they know I have them muted, they didn't decide, they just decide to watch my page from afar. Because for some reason they like following everything I do, which is why I know that they're here listening. They're recording it as well, just to let you know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. They're here because they want to try and make fun of me or do whatever. Their response was, if you believe in if you unironically use the term cyberbullying, cyberstalking, cyber harassment, and cyber hate, you are quote-unquote terminally on the internet. I don't know what that means, since everybody is on the internet, including the person who tweeted it out. They're terminally on the internet. They may not terminally be on Twitter because they're always serving a suspension here or there. But they're terminally on Discord. That's the internet. They're terminally on Facebook. That's the internet. They're terminally on YouTube. That's the internet. God damn, you're an idiot.
What am I supposed
You broke up a little bit. What did you
You're not supposed to point these things.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, that's right. It's rules for them, not for me. I'm not supposed to do these things. I forgot. So, even the president, as Dark said, even the president is on the internet. So, these terms, I don't have cyber hate on there. Everybody knows what cyber hate is. But there are 3 terms that are very, very important. One of them is cyberbullying. Now, there are plenty of people out there who don't believe that this is real. Ish, okay. We just got through a year. 15 days to slow the spread. Remember?
Yep.
We celebrated the year anniversary of that. We just got through a year of everybody being locked down and only being able to interact through internet. If you still believe, after something like that cyberbullying, cyberstalking, and cyber harassment aren't real, not only are you willfully ignorant, but you are delusional.
Yeah.
Righty asks, what if you're trolling a bully? There are caveats. This trolling a bully, depending on what you're doing, like if someone is a part of the Westboro Baptist Church, and they are going after someone on Twitter with just vile things, and you hit them back, I don't have a problem with that.
There are still limits. There are some things you still should not do. Sorry, but there are.
Okay, so Trisha brings up a really good point. And it does, and this is something that I've said about Twitter, so bear with me. She says, I love when people know you're just joking around with them online. Some people take it way too far, though. If you are getting upset to the point of you're trying to go after IRL lives, you should get off the internet. Now, Trisha, you bring up a really good point. Ishtar and I can have an interaction on Twitter where and this has happened. I'll use the example that both of us got dinged for. Mm-hmm. Our friend Penn, we game with her. Okay, we've known her for a while. She was the very first person I ever streamed with. Gator and Frog. Her name is Panina Chan.
She's awesome.
She really is. She's got a great sense of humor. Both Ishtar and I were joking with her. And she knows that we were joking, but the Twitter algorithm didn't. I think we called her a slut. And it was in a joking manner. People who don't know the relationships between us and Panina Chan don't know that we're joking. There is no real sarcasm font, and unless you know the person, you don't know how the inflection goes or how they're wording things. You just go off of what they're saying. And people can take that and go crazy with it. And that's how a lot of disagreements and arguments happen on Twitter, because they read into it what they want. The people who do decide to go after IRL stuff... Now, I've been doxxed. I did not have... Now, one of the excuses that was a recent one, which wasn't true, is I had my email address connected to my Help for the Guildless account, which led them to everything. That's not true. The email account that I have connected to Help for the Guildless is help, the number 4, help for the Guildless at yahoo.com.
That's not your personal email address.
That's not my personal email address. The person who got my personal email address gave it to the person who doxed me, who then used that as an excuse. So, for the people who are listening who said my email is connected to it, why don't you check down below? Because that email isn't connected. You had to go searching for it. Okay? That's 1.
And you're still dickheads.
And that's 2. My face was nowhere near connected to this YouTube account. At all. They went back 10 years and found my picture, and not only doxed me, but doxed my ex-wife.
Not cool.
But that's not doxing, according to them, because they have to justify it.
If you have to justify your actions to look less like a dick, you might want to stop being a dick.
You might.
It's that simple.
So, real quick, because I know they're watching, and I know they're in their little Discord hen house, and they're talking. That's what really happened. Now, when you bitch about, I don't know, someone going back 6 years to find a picture of you, and then you have a problem with me, oh, there's one of them. Hi, Yoda. Cyberbullying is a thing. Do you want to know how I know? Here.
Goodbye, Yoda.
What is cyberbullying? Well, first, let me get back to my point of... I'm going to leave this up so he can continue to stare at it and listen. When you complain about someone going back 6 years to find a picture of you, and how bad they have to be to go back that 6 years, you might want to think about the 10 years that they had to go back to get a picture of me, and you defended it. You're an asshat, and you know who I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Yoda. Yoda is a doxer. Yoda is the one that tried to come in here on my Tuesday show with Corvus and Ishtar and Wren with my real name, because he thinks it's funny. It's just a joke. It's just trolling. He got my name wrong. You want to talk about going back 6 years? How about going back 6 years in my YouTube channels to get a picture of a video I made called Special Victims Unit, talking about the Gamergate episode of SVU, and only showing half of it. Only showing Professional Victim. Because I think I called it Professional Victims Unit. Well, that's disingenuous. That's kind of doing the same thing you did with me. That makes you a hypocrite. Unfortunately. And it doesn't matter how you justify it, you are. Because you have to justify it. Now, Yoda, since I know you're sitting there, he's going to be back with another stock account, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. Cyberbullying. What is it? Cyberbullying, and this is from stopbullying.gov. This is a government website. Cyberbullying is bullying that takes place over digital devices like cell phones, computers, and tablets. Cyberbullying can occur through SMS, text, and apps, or online in social media, forums, or gaming, where people can view, participate in, or share content. Cyberbullying includes sending, posting, or sharing negative, harmful, false, or mean content about someone else. It can include sharing personal or private information, like someone's name, about someone else, causing embarrassment or humiliation. Some cyberbullying crosses the line into unlawful or criminal behavior. The most common places where cyberbullying occurs are social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, text messaging and messaging apps on mobile or tablet devices, instant messaging, direct messaging, and online chatting over the internet, online forums, chat rooms, and message boards such as Reddit. A government website had to put Reddit on their page. That's pretty funny. Email and online gaming communities. So, that's what cyberbullying is. Now, they're going to bring up the videos I used to make. The videos Antoine used to make. Here's the thing. If you were a fan of Antoine, okay, Antoine and I did the Scott Cawthon video. That was like an old video of mine. Did we insult or go after the people that were saying these things?
No.
What did we do?
You pretty much ignored it, if I remember correctly.
The Scott Cawthon thing. We talked about...
Oh, the Scott Cawthon thing where he was being harassed.
Yeah.
He basically said that it was a shitty thing to do and that they were focusing on one tiny bit, as opposed to taking into account the fact that he has been incredibly supportive to the various communities throughout his entire career of being able to make money. And that just because he supports a person for whatever reason does not necessarily mean he agrees with all the views.
Exactly. Now, what does that mean I did? Did I go after those individual people?
No, you refuted it. You said...
Discussed the idea.
Yeah, this is the problem that I have with it.
So, one of my favorite targets used to be Riley Dennis. Now, Riley Dennis was a transgendered, non-binary lesbian. I don't know how that's a possible thing. I still don't, because I don't deal with the pronoun things. You want me to call you he, she. You want me to call you they, them. I will be respectful. If you're not respectful to me, I won't be respectful to you. That's how it works with me. Riley Dennis had a lot of bad ideas. I never directly attacked Riley Dennis. I went after Riley Dennis's ideas. Even Penoid and MGTOW. I've said it before. Antoine has said it. I don't have a problem with the tenements of MGTOW. Taking care of yourself, making yourself better, getting a better job, getting a better raise, getting better health, getting better food, getting a better life.
Basically, being a better person.
Taking care of yourself. I have a problem with the ideas that MGTOW, certain MGTOW, put out there. Like Sandman. When Sandman basically says, women have magical vaginas. And I'm not talking magical as in they feel good. I'm talking about they have X-Men level mind control powers. That's dumb. That is the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard. Until I heard Turd Flinging Monkey say that you should treat women like giant fuckable children with tits. I didn't.
Not a good look.
Not a good
Just
look.
saying.
No, I'm not justifying my opinion. I'm stating what they're going to do. Because they're basically... If you look at my old videos... There he is. There he is. See? He's right there. If you look at my old videos, you basically... I attacked ideas. You can't use me attacking ideas to say I'm bullying somebody.
Do you want to respond to him, or should I just go ahead and hide him and let him babble to himself?
Vlad says, dude, who cares if someone went back X years to find someone publicly available pic on you posted? Weird, sure, but dude, you straight up talked about pushing a person to suicide once. Dude, just stop. I've never pushed anybody to suicide. You show me where I said that, and we can talk. I've never pushed anybody to suicide. I've pushed myself to almost committing suicide. Twice. But
Okay.
I don't think I've ever... And I'm saying think, because I don't remember that ever happening. So, you bring Gallagher in here, and that's fine. They'll come in with other accounts. He's got, like... He brags about having 12. So, we've discussed cyberbullying. Yes, I'm bullying the idea. I'm not...
Writing, let me simplify this for you. We are discussing cyber harassment and cyberbullying. That's basically the gist of this conversation. He's got some history with some people who are showing up in chat. We're just gonna hide them and let them babble to themselves. Doesn't get much more complicated than that.
Yeah. Yeah, Zeo Gold, they've been lying about me for a while. That's
the lore they have come up with about Matt is really freaking entertaining.
Yeah.
And so freaking wrong.
So, let's talk... Now, this is Wikipedia. You can argue Wikipedia all you want. Cyberstalking. And this is how Vlad came back into my life, because I was hyperbolic about Yoda, who has already showed up in the chat, about stalking my Twitter page. Cyberstalking is the use of the internet or other electronic means to stalk or harass an individual, group, or organization. You know, like responding with the same tweet to every single tweet and every single reply to that tweet for 3 days straight. That would be harassment.
Who's not even connected to you.
Exactly.
Really. I think the most connection you have with that particular individual is the fact that they have now subscribed to you. That is the extent of your contact.
Yep. So, we have a new subscriber. Hitsugi has subscribed. That's it. That's the only connection I have to Hitsugi. I talked to her a little bit on Discord and on... That's how all of this started, Righty. Is someone went to the hospital. They were unresponsive. They were in a coma for a bit. Hitsugi, who is a friend of theirs, started a GoFundMe. And people who don't like Hitsugi, and who don't like the person who went into a coma, started harassing her. So, do you want to know how I got involved? How it started for them coming at me? I told her, you did a good thing. Ignore the people who are giving you shit. He's your friend. You're doing a good thing. That's how it started. It may...
Right?
I know, right? I'm sure you do, Pinoid. I'm sure you do.
Congrats if you got a fancy laptop.
It may include false accusations, defamation, slander, and libel. It may also include monitoring, identity theft, threats, vandalism, solicitation for sex, doxing, or blackmail. Stalking is often accompanied by real-time or offline stalking. In this case, it's not, because, well, Yoda is too fucking dumb to actually be able to do any of that. In many jurisdictions, such as California, both are criminal offenses. I don't live in California, so there's that. Both are motivated by a desire to control, intimidate, or influence a victim. In the case of what Yoda is doing, he's trying to get Hitsugi kicked off the internet. He's trying to scare her off the internet, trying to get her to do whatever he can to make sure she doesn't ever post again. That would be harassment and stalking. And just not being a dick is probably the easiest thing you could do. A stalker may be an online stranger or a person whom the target knows. They may be anonymous and solicit involvement of other people online who do not even know the target. Cyberstalking is a criminal offense under various state anti-stalking, slander, and harassment laws. A conviction can result in a restraining order, probation, or criminal penalties against the assailant, including jail. In response to that tweet that Vlad put out, I guess it does exist. And it does have real-world consequences. Now, this one is funny. This is my law questions. And this says, what is cyber harassment? With pictures. So we're going to discuss a little bit more. Cyber harassment and cyber stalking are often used synonymously to describe the actions of people who relentlessly pursue others online with the intention of frightening or embarrassing the victim. Like, I don't know, posting scat porn and bestiality porn. Sometimes a harasser intends to teach the victim a lesson. That sounds a lot like what Yoda's trying to do. Or solicit information from him or her. And stalkers generally want revenge or attention. Regardless of Pinoid being here, he doesn't need attention, he gets enough. The others, though, they want attention. And I'm expecting, Pinoid, I'm expecting you to do another 50-minute video on me and take your time. Because it's another 50-minute video I'm not going to watch. And Vlad, if you want to make another one, you go right ahead. I'm not going to watch that one either. Laws against this behavior vary depending on the country, and victims should report their case to local authorities. See, now when I was doxxed, we went to the authorities. Did we not?
Mm-hmm.
We gave them all the evidence, and
we explained the situation.
they can... Yeah, I know, 7 dislikes. Thank you very much for the interaction, guys. It means a lot. You are telling YouTube that even if you dislike it, you're still taking the time out to mark something on the video, which then increases things in the YouTube sphere. Let's see. Laws against this behavior vary depending on the country, and the victim should report the case to local authorities. To prevent crimes from occurring, it is important for everyone to protect their identity while on the internet. Well, in my case, I can't do that anymore. There is no universal legal definition of cyber harassment. I don't have to claim things with... There he is again. Nice hug box. No, leave it up real quick. I want to respond. Because, nice hug box. You claim I've done things without evidence. Bless your overweight and overburdened heart. Oh, you
Dude,
care.
I gotta ask a question. You are male, right? Then why the hell are you using a feminine southern insult?
Well, he thinks it's his go-to insult. And Knights of the Rounder Table. Wow. This BS only exists in the terminally online. Shut off your computer, walk away, problem solved. I don't have to shut off my computer or walk away. I just don't have to have you in my existence.
Are you done with them?
Yeah, I'm done with them. I don't need to have evidence, Yoda. I can put in links to what you did. And there's my actual last you coming in with all your sock accounts, what you did on Trippy's stream, that's all the evidence I need. And I can link that if you want.
You think they're going to get up to 15 and have an equal amount of likes and dislikes?
I hope they do.
I mean,
it's still it's all sock accounts, which is funny because they'll disappear. There's no universal legal definition of cyber harassment, but it typically is defined as repeated, unsolicited, threatening behavior by a person or a group using mobile or internet technology with the intent to bother, terrify, intimidate, humiliate, threaten, harass, or stalk someone else. Well, Yoda, giving the best example possible of what's been going on, Yoda coming in here trying to humiliate. Well, that's considered cyber harassment. Because he continues to come in. See, that's the thing. When it used to be people saying, oh, it's not cyber harassment, it's just people disagreeing with you. When you create and have additional accounts, Vlad, Yoda, and you keep coming into someone who doesn't want you around, that's considered harassment, especially when you come in doing stuff like that. Legally, that's harassment. Okay. Give me just a second, and I will put links in the chat for the stream that Yoda decided he was going to dox Hitsugi on someone else's stream. Give me a second.
The thing is Righty is usually when Matt makes a comment like this, he usually has receipts. And if you go and follow him on Twitter, you can see this shit. They are rubbish trolls. They think they're funny. They're really not.
Okay. Well, I'll have to talk to...
It won't, because of one big reason. I have better things to do with my time.
So he privated that stream because of Hitsugi's name. But here. I will share this.
Dark, I'm hoping that you're getting some entertainment out of this because you're wasting your breath. And Vlad, we're not talking about irate. We're not even specifically talking about you guys. We're talking about cyber harassment as a whole. You're just really, really good examples.
You are. So that link is to a video that has some evidence. Oh, I didn't even see Yoda in here again.
Yeah.
No, see, you're not proving me wrong, Yoda. You're not. You're just coming in being a dick. And you know what, Yoda? If I invited you on, I know what you would do. You would try and talk low and quiet, and you would say, bless my heart, bless your heart, and you would call me a little boy. How do I know? Because I've seen 2 streams where you've done this. So, listen. Stop while you're ahead.
Hi, Pen.
How's it going, Pen?
Yeah, they think they're funny. And apparently they don't have anything better to do with their time.
And he's come in with another sock account. What is the dislike count now?
9 to 15.
Oh, guys, you are slacking. You are slacking. Alright. So, we have that. Why do I gotta take all the fun? I'm sorry, Pen. I know you want to have some fun, too. Alright. So, we are going to jump in. Let's see. Who do we got here? I know Cass was here first. So, this is a call-in show. So, if you guys are in my Discord and you experienced cyber harassment, cyberbullying, cyber stalking, and you have a story to tell or you have a strong opinion about things, go ahead and jump in the green room, and I will bring you on. So
here's the thing, though. Keep in mind, there are multiple people who want to talk, so we're not going to give you unlimited times to talk. Sparky, I'm looking at you, buddy. I say that with affection because you
Sparky likes to talk. Sparky got invited to a Discord, and Sparky was invited to a Discord that other people don't like, and he talked to a bunch of people for 10 hours. Because Sparky, they're interesting people.
You have to admit, that's pretty impressive to talk to somebody you don't like for 10 hours straight. That's
all right.
That's a thing.
So, Cass, we're bringing you in first.
You do that. I'm gonna get some pretzels. I'll be right back.
Okay. And I believe you have to unmute yourself, Cass.
Mitzi could go on a rant? Oh no, Mitzi. Now I want to hear your rant, honey.
Alright. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yep, we can hear you. How's it going, Cass?
Oh, it's going. I'm having way too much fun with these trolls. I don't know if you saw that there's a comment about a drinking game.
I did not. I did not see. Oh, drinking game. Each dislike, take a shot. Oh, Cass, don't do that. People would be dead. Every new dislike, guys. You got to get your dislike game up there. Just take a shot every single time.
I've got a full bottle of wine over here. Come on. I want to be through with that by the end of the night. Come on. Chop chop.
Okay.
Chop, little doggies.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah. Just popping in, mentioning like, first off, let's be brutally honest about something. You know, at least as far as Twitter goes, because that's where most of this, in my experience, takes place. Kind of worthless, right? It exists for, you know, influencers, wannabe influencers, you know, the streamers, porn artists, and of course the, you know, slacktivists.
Yeah.
All stripes, because let's be honest, no one likes slacktivists. They don't even like each other. But I think that's something that universally we can all agree on.
Yeah.
And I actually have some notes written here, and damn, I must have been on a roll because one of these is literally Twitter policy is about as useful as pre-punctured condoms. So,
well, they do go off of their own thing. Like they are their own platform. You know, I know one of the things that people like to say is it's a private platform, they can do what they want, and then it bites them in the ass, and I've seen it happen. You know, extreme left-wing people who scream about censorship and like getting Milo off the internet and things like that, then get censored, and then they cry, and a lot of the responses to them are, a lot of the responses are, it's a public platform. I've done that too, so it's
one of the ones I've seen that I think we've actually talked about before. I don't remember if we did or not, but you know, they start reciting that one poem but modifying it. You know, first they came for this, then they came for this, and then they'll come for and no one was there. And then exactly. And you know, that's ultimately what's going on here. You know, you're all you're really doing, first, at least in this case, all they're doing is, you know, giving you more that algorithm juice, which
yep, up to 10 dislikes.
Oh, all right, hold on.
Ooh.
All right, come on, give me more.
All right, but do you have anything to say about? Have you experienced? Well, you're not on Twitter, but like Facebook or anything like that.
Yeah, most of it had to do with just, you know, people being dicks. People, just don't be dicks.
Yeah, but then they make that their entire personality. Like,
then they don't have a personality. Like,
no, they don't.
Being a dick, you know, being a dick is like using your, you know, whatever your preferred orientation is. That's not a personality. I don't care how much of import it is to you. That's not a personality.
I agree. It's not that hard to not be a dick. Like, if someone mutes you, they don't want to interact with you. They don't want anything to do with you. If they block you, they don't want anything to do with you. Why do you think that you take it upon yourself to create a second account, create a third account, a fourth account? I think Vlad is on his 5th account now. Yoda's going to be on his 5th. Why do you need to create more to interact with them? They don't want to interact with you.
Exactly.
And
what's to me more interesting is, this particular group, and I'm going after them in particular because that's what I'm most been dealing with tonight. It's like, oh, it's only for people who are terminally on the internet, and I got some bad news for you, Yoda, Vlad. I'm sure there's a third one whose name is slipping my mind. Doesn't matter. I got some bad news for you. I'm writing you a prescription for turn off the computer, take a block or 2 stroll outside, inhale, exhale, and that's all I got for you.
Well, I think it's funny. They're talking about me being terminally on the internet, or people being terminally on the internet. Vlad, in particular, boasts and crows about his 13 different accounts. Yoda, as you've seen, has many. And but I'll
take the crows before them, thanks.
Yeah, I have one. Like, I have my Help for the Guildless Twitter, I have my Facebook, and then I have a couple of channels that are all centered around my channel. They're not sock accounts. I don't have fake accounts like that. Never have. So.
I mean, just on the topic of being nice. You've seen some of the things that I put in memes, specifically for Book Club. But
you are one of the meme smiths, yes.
I am one of the glorious meme smiths. I no ego whatsoever. But there is genuinely a difference between being mean for the sake of being mean and being mean for the sake of proving a point. Because some people, you can't sugarcoat it. You really can't. Hi, I'm one of those, or for a while I was one of those people. I like to think I'm better about it now, but again, that could just be the ego speaking.
We do know you have an ego. It's the whole brother. It's the whole brotherhood thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay, real quick. Colespire was my first account, which I then changed to Antoine the Great, and then I was yeeted off of. Let's see. How do you manage that, by the way? I see people get on top of everything, managing 230 accounts across all social media and still be productive. David, I have no idea.
If I had to guess, you either have people doing it, or you just are, as we like to use the phrase, terminally on the internet.
Yeah. But how's it going, David? I believe David and I follow each other on Twitter. He is a video game he's a video game creator. If I'm recognizing the icon is the same person. He's actually really cool to interact with on Twitter. But all right, we got some other people that want to come in here.
Yeah, I'll get out of their way. I think actually, it was Dark who was also in there. So.
All right.
I'm going to suggest as we go forward that we try not to narrow in on specific people too much, because that's not what this stream is about.
No, we're talking about harassment and what it means to the people. Like, we've gone through that. Yes, it's a real thing. We've gone through that cyber harassment, cyber stalking, cyberbullying is all a real thing, regardless of what these idiots say, and that people can be affected by it. So, right. All right, Cass.
All right, I will chat with you lovely people later.
All right.
I'm just saying it because it's very easy to slip into specifically pointing to people instead of using them as an example for a greater target and then moving on.
Yeah. All right, Dark, I'm bringing you in. You're going to have to unmute yourself. Ray put up another meme.
I know, I saw that. That was pretty good.
Yeah. David says, watch out, mate. It's a titties game. Be careful. It's good to see you. Say what's up to Ishtar. Ishtar's right there. She just said hello. Yes,
I am
he
the
is.
only titty on this stream. Thank you very much.
He is a fan of the anime titties, but as most people know, so am I. Which is, it's not a bad thing. Dark, you gotta unmute yourself.
Alright, I hope I can be heard.
Wow, you are loud.
And now.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Nope, I gotta just turn you down just a little bit. Alright, how's it going, Dark?
It is going. I have been off work due to a knee injury, and I have been off for months now.
Alright, I think I made you too low. Well, I hope you start feeling better soon. Alright. Now, I know you've dealt with this stuff, because it's actually how we found each other in dealing with the Gabe stuff and just Sarah and all of that. So what?
Oh, there's some lag there.
Oh.
Okay.
I
am unmuted, I think. Hold on.
Yeah, we can hear you. Are you listening to the stream as well? Is that the problem?
Yeah, okay, I think I can help if I... There we go. I think I'll just shut up. There we go. Okay, that should help.
There you go. Alright, so I met you through the Just Sarah stuff a while ago. So I know you've been in that sphere. So what are some of the experiences you've had in dealing with people like this? Because you've seen, I know you're part of... Yeah?
You need to turn him up. People can't hear him.
I did turn him up.
Okay.
It might not be... It may just be on my headphones, but I don't know. I have two different things connected right now, so it might just be one of that.
I know you are part of the anti-O community. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's the anti-Onision community.
Was.
So
I dropped from that bullshit.
what are some of the experiences you've had with harassment and things like that? What you've seen?
There was a lot there, actually. I'm still dealing with one person. Honestly, it's just from that whole group that used to be attacking me. And it was like a group of 50 people for some reason. They would just all come at me, just one after the other. And I am actually friends now with 3 of them. And surprisingly, I'm still dealing with one who subtweets me constantly and completely acts like a total bitch around everything I say.
Alright. They're saying they still can't hear you, but I turned you up.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard?
Well, they're saying you were low. I heard what you said. But...
For what?
So, what are they doing? Are they just randomly tweeting you, or
They randomly tweet me from once in a while. I think someone's watching my Twitter account and just telling this one person whatever I say. I know they go to my YouTube channel and dislike every video I do, but...
Well, like I told you, like I've been saying with this, dislikes are still interaction.
Oh, I know.
That it's still telling... It may be, but you have to realize that it's still telling the YouTube algorithm that people are interested in what's going on. They're interested enough to actually react to something. How many videos do you actually hit like on?
Almost every video I watch on YouTube if I like the person.
Oh. Well, you are outside the norm. Mostly what happens with people watching YouTube is they'll watch the video. Ishtar's called me out on this before. We watch DGR. He's a Mario Maker content producer.
Interesting.
He's just nice.
He's super funny, very family friendly, gives great reactions. But I will watch his stuff and then he'll start his outro and I'll click off. Where he's telling people to go over to his Twitch channel. That's where he streams live.
I'm notorious for doing that myself.
Well,
Like, I hear this all the time on like every fucking channel I watch. So
yeah, but
it's a little grating.
what I'm saying is people do that, and then they don't click like on the video, or they just watch it and they'll move.
Oh,
to
I
the
usually
next
click. I usually click like right at the start, so I don't have to do any of that.
But so aside from
Like
that, and I do want to say, listen, trolls, because I know you're still here. If you want to talk, there's a link to my Discord. I will let you on, but you're going to have to realize that you don't get to be in control. I'm in control. So if you start saying something stupid, you're not going to be here anymore.
I'm kidding.
So,
by the way, I wanted to say congratulations to you and Ishtar
oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
for getting married and having all that fun.
You need to change your bar, babe.
Yeah, I know I do. I was going to do it before I got this started, but I forgot. So I'll change it before my next stream.
Thank you. We were delighted.
But
Oh, I
is
bet.
adorable, and now he's stuck with me, so I
It
win.
wouldn't be that bad.
All I have to do is just be here. He feeds me.
Hey, you feed each other, so it's okay.
I mean, I bake, so I guess that counts.
I'd say that counts.
what? Getting back on topic.
Alright.
What is something that you do to deal with these people? And I'm talking about people who internet trolls and harassers in general. What do you do?
Usually, what I do is I give a long spiel about it to them, or say something that's what I've had on my chest, and then I just block them. I forget about them usually.
Because I know you've had interactions with one of the people that's been in this chat.
Oh
And,
yeah.
yeah, and all they did was spam gifts at you. So, and then I know you blocked them because, well, he crowed about it, and this was before I muted him. So I don't... Me particularly, and this is where I disagree with you, if I don't want to be around them, I mute them. And if they continue, and again, I have my example of Ishtar because she's been here, I give them a chance. Like, I still am one of those people that will continually give someone a chance because I don't believe they're as horrible as they portray. And
I try to give somebody a chance too, but that's after a couple of days of their bullshit, and they just keep going and going and going and won't stop. And
yeah, 3 days.
And...
3 days of constant tweeting at people was a bit much. So that was my straw of getting rid of it.
I feel that.
But I don't do the whole here's a spiel of why I'm going to block you. It's more along the lines
I don't do that. I just sell the fuck off.
Okay.
In my way.
All right. Here, I'll ask you a question.
All right.
And this is a personal anecdote. If someone is constantly tweeting at you the same tweet over and over and over and over and over for 3 days straight, every single tweet of yours,
in that situation.
yeah, every single tweet, every single response to that tweet, would you consider that harassment?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Okay. All right.
There's no doubt about that. Like, that's harassment, 100% either way, because you've told them to stop. You have told them that it is 100% over. Yet they still continue to do it. That is harassment. I used to be a corrections officer. We know what that means.
All right. Well, I have one more person that's going to be coming in. So, thank you for your experience and what you've done. I'm
glad I was able to be on one.
I may be able to bring you back in just in case Sparky or Penn don't want to go forever. But I know Sparky's there, so... Alright, I'm going to kick you out, and then bring Sparky in.
Fair enough.
All right. All right, Sparky. You have to unmute yourself.
Yep, I know. I know the name of the game and the rules in your Discord.
Sparky, how are you?
All right, I have a question for you first,
Oh God!
and you have to answer it correctly, or else this
What?
conversation is over. Are you eating popcorn right now?
I am.
Oh, I gotta kick you out. Look,
Bye.
Yes.
we can't.
I said I was doing it.
Only pretzels. That's the
No,
only
it's
thing
fine.
that's not a hate crime.
Look,
That's pretzel popcorn.
it is happen. We have to understand that Sparky has ops corn, and eating popcorn is violence. So, as long as you don't eat it while you're talking, I will allow you.
rude.
I will allow you to be on stream.
Okay, well, thank you very much, man. Yeah, so I kind of gone the back end this whole thing, and yeah, I've just been sitting back and watching. Anyways, it's about cyberbullying and harassment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Excuse me.
I
Sparky,
deal with
just a
that.
second. Sparky,
Okay.
just a second. Venom Rage, the conditions were very clear. You have to be in the Discord. The link is in the chat. Scroll up, find it. Otherwise, sit down and be quiet.
It's also in the description.
Yep. All right. That was that.
Okay. But
Moving
no,
on.
yeah, moving on. Anyways, no, yeah, I deal with constant harassment all the time. You know, cyberbullying. I mean, I've got this crazy red-faced Canadian demon that just won't get off my back about shit. I've got a vixen fairy fae that just tries to make sexual innuendos, but it just fails and backfires on it all the time. I've got a dragon that
Your co-hosts don't count.
Oh, come on, man!
Your co-hosts
not
don't count.
trolls.
They're your friends.
They're
They're-
not trolls if you encourage them to be this way.
That's
Dude, I've got
yes.
an entire Discord. It's just memes for me. So it's to the point. It's I don't care. You and me both know what happened about 2-3 years ago. After that point, going through and buying a house and all that other good shit, it just got too pedantic to even fucking care about this shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Vlad's in the Discord.
Yeah, I know.
What do you want me to give him?
I already gave him a roll.
All right.
But no, it
Just wanna be
it goes
nice.
like this.
I'm
It-
pretty
it-
sure
it
he can see the
goes-
green room. Oh,
It's a two-way street. So, and I can't believe I'm actually got a quote Rogue on this one. It only counts if you feel. And me and him's had many of conversations talking about this shit. About, you know, just moving on, turning face, and just GNF, give no fucks. And that's one of the reasons why I think I kind of got adopted to that community pretty well, because it is what it is. Now, you can do one of three things. You can entertain it, and you can troll them. Well, troll them back when they're trying to troll you. You can try to go at them,
mm.
or you can, like, well, you pretty much said it at the beginning. Well, not the beginning, but like midway through the stream. Block, report, move on.
Yep.
And I stick to that mantra very well, and it's worked out for me. So, since I can't use my co-hosts, really I haven't dealt with anything for like 3 years, because it's...
I was gonna say, you haven't dealt with anything since what happened with us, and
Yeah.
Caffeinated or Die.
Yeah. I'm proud to say Recaffeinated's going strong. We're like 70 episodes right now.
I know, I keep saying it. I catch it every once in a while and just kind of lurk. I don't really say much.
You know you're welcome on anytime. I don't care. It's an open call show. Anyone can come in. I don't do the whole, time limit thing or everyone's welcome to join. It's basically just a bullshit stream. Everyone hangs out, and we just talk about random things. There's really no direction. It's fun.
I
We all have
stick
fun.
to the 2-hour thing because 2 hours is still a long time. And you can.
I've been trying to stick to the 2-hour mark.
You can't stick to
doesn't
2
work.
hours. You couldn't stick to 2 hours if you had a gun to your head.
I know.
Yeah, I was about to call Sparky out on his bullshit too.
I said I've been trying to, and the last couple streams I came close. I went to 3 hours. At least I'm not doing 8-hour streams
Anymore. Or the streams that you pass out. Or the streams that you fell asleep.
Hey, alcohol was involved. Get off me.
That's
Well-
what she said.
So, but going back to the point of what the stream is about, one of your things, like you said, is you block, you report, you move on. And
Yeah.
other than that, you don't. What else? Like, if they don't stop, someone has sock accounts, whatever, and they keep coming at you, you just continue to block them. What I mean?
Well, I mean, so there is a limitation on Twitter how many accounts you can actually have, because it starts getting to the point Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, even Discord gets to the point where they start IP monitoring. So there's actually a limit to how many accounts that you can make.
See, I didn't know
So-
that.
Yeah, there's a limit to how many accounts you can make, because then it starts real easy to get them knocked out and get them beamed out. So
Real
all
quick.
you gotta do is
Sorry. Penn says, for harassment, I really don't let it bother me. There's maybe only 1 or 2 incidents in over 7 years that have actually gotten to me, but really, ... She treats it like a game because it's useless otherwise. She doesn't even block and rarely report.
Yeah, but
She
she's
has
also
0 fucks to give.
she also isn't on Twitter anymore. Well,
it's not as account. She just
no,
doesn't do
I
it.
agree, Penn. I agree with not letting them rule your life. The reason that this is coming up is because it's not stopping. It's something that has continued to go, for some people, over months. For me, who wasn't part of this at all and got brought in just because I said someone did something nice, it was a very grouped together 3 days. So I'm done. Like, I've blocked them. I gave them their chance to stop. And again, I don't have Vlad blocked. I have him muted. I just don't want to hear what he has to say. I don't want to see what he has to say, because I don't want to happen across bestiality porn on my feed. Because Vlad decided he wanted to, quote unquote, troll someone by posting that. I don't want to see that. Just like you remember, Sparky, the very first time Vlad and I got into it was when you guys were still part of Knights of the Round Table, and he started posting mutilated dead cats.
Yeah. You know, and I actually gotta
where
say
do you
something to
find
that. That fucking YouTube account still exists, really, man? You still have that fucking? God damn.
Well, no, that was not Knights of the Round Table. That was Knights of the Rounder Table.
Well, I know he had that account. I just didn't know it's still around. So it's whatever.
So, all right.
But no, I don't have a leg in this fight. With what happened. I know what you're talking about. I think I said one thing to. Actually, no, I didn't even say anything to Yoda. I remember that whole interaction and stuff like that. And I said one thing to Hitsuki. He came in and said something, and it's like, what are you on about? Because I didn't even know what you guys were talking about. I didn't even know Yoda was a thing until like later on that day. And I found out about it.
Yeah.
But then Yoda started,
We're moving away from the
Bastion.
generality of the conversation.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring it back around, and it has
Okay.
to do with what I'm gonna get to. I think the reason why, what happened for 3 days is because maybe, and just saying maybe posting constantly or just every now and then to them.
I'm not posting.
Feeding it.
I didn't post it. I never tagged Yoda in anything. Because I didn't.
I know, but
He took it upon himself to do that to every single one of my posts. And then I was told by someone who follows me about the videos, the bestiality porn happened because I was following a thread, and oh no, there it was.
Well, yeah, luckily enough, I didn't get to see that one.
Yeah, you're very lucky.
Yeah. But no, at the end of the day, it goes like this. I'll jump into a conversation if I find it interesting, but if it goes into like slamming people or people getting slammed, people wanting to hee-haw, troll, whatever you want to call it these days, I just get to the point, it's like, I mute the thread, I exit out of it, and the person keeps on, just block them. And they come back, I block them. They come back, I block them. And it comes back to the point in time, it's got to get to the point where either one, they'll get tired of making accounts, or re-logging in and logging into them to post. Well, all thing you got to do is just hit a button and it's done. So, people might want to call me a bitch for it. I really don't care. That was on the internet. I've been called every name underneath the sun. You're not going to hurt my feelings one little bit. At the end of the day...
The child of God, quote somebody.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's not going to affect me one little bit at work. And it's not going to affect me one little bit whenever I'm just, laughing about it, drinking at the bar. So, that's about all I got to the whole thing. But as far as, like, you got somebody who won't leave you alone, it's like, to me, ignore them. I know sometimes it gets to the point where it's hard to ignore them. They really want attention, or...
Oh, I know they really want attention.
But, at the end of the day, it's like, I'm so busy with stuff, like, on my channel, because I've redirected my channel into doing commentary and anime reactions and stuff like that with a group of friends I care to do stuff with. I don't have time for anything else. Same with work, same with taking care of this house, making money, side jobs, all that other good stuff. So, I mean, we're all online. Online is a part of what we do nowadays. But when you game, you gotta have some sort of fucking account to log into games sometimes. Twitter, different spheres and places. Everything's moving to the digital sphere. So it gets to the point of cyberbullying, cyberstalking, and harassment is a thing. Technically, if you want to go into the context of law, it's not yet. And I use that term "yet" very frequently because it might.
Yeah.
So
It's working its way towards it.
Well,
as
it is.
As the way things usually go socially, it takes a while for the law to catch up.
I will read what you said in a second, Pen. I was letting Sparky say his piece because we're about to kick Sparky out, so I can read that.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to kick me out. I know I'm not wanted. See you guys later.
Get your ops corn out of here. I don't want it on this stream.
Bye, Sparky.
See you later.
Bye.
All right. I'm going to read what Penn said. Alright. Penn said, the more you try and stop them, the more you spend energy on something that's not important. And it's fine. You are different than me. You gave chances. You blocked. So it's okay. Still, though, you're not going to win against harassment. It's like fighting with stupid. They'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. And you're better than that, Matt. You win by not playing their game, so if it's expedient for you to block in order to move on, then do so, no judgment. They'll eventually get bored and move on to their next quote-unquote victim who feeds their attention bar. I agree with you. I do. I wanted to make a statement today about the fact that people are out there believing that this stuff isn't real. And the people who believe that this stuff isn't real are the ones who do it. So I have, you can ask Ishtar, for the last 3 years, there have been numerous things that I have wanted to speak out about. And I haven't. And I have stayed quiet. When I was getting everybody dumping on me, when I got doxxed and I had people going after her, I did not speak out. This is my platform, my channel. I chose to talk about harassment. They came here. They want to talk. Well, one of them wants to talk now because he's getting the option. They didn't before. They wanted to come in and troll.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that happened. This was supposed to be a discussion about the fact that online harassment, cyberbullying, cyber stalking is all actual things because we all live online. My friend James, who I've played games with, is online. He's not online a lot. All of his stuff is on Facebook. He's my best friend. He plays games online. He's still online. So, Vlad is in the waiting room. I'm going to bring him in. And we'll see how this goes.
If he just starts throwing insults, I'm booting him.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was talking to Sparky.
Yeah. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
We're going to lay some ground rules.
All right.
As long as you're chill, we're fine. You start going in on someone, going in on me, whatever. I can't promise you that you're going to be in the Discord much longer.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I'm way too tired to argue like that, so.
All right.
Had a
You might
long
want to
day.
turn him up a little bit. He's a little quiet.
I can hear him fine, but I can turn him up. He's at 100% volume. You are now 125% louder than you were before.
All right. I turned myself up on my end, too.
Oh, now you're really loud. I'm dropping you back down.
Sorry.
Perfect.
No, I mean, he's blasting my ears out.
It's okay.
Oh,
you don't-
and
you don't listen to me anyway.
so I have to say something really quick, though, because I think there was a miscommunication on my part in the chat earlier. I wasn't saying that Antoine lied about letting in trolls. I wasn't on this listening to the stream. I have had people messaging me telling me this. And so, like, I was like, I don't really believe you. So then that's why I wrote that in the chat.
No, I have no problem talking with people. I've told you that from the beginning. When you start doing things that I don't agree with, like posting what you posted, then I don't want to deal with you anymore.
But I never even posted it to you.
You didn't post. I just explained it like 5 minutes ago. I saw it because I was following a thread.
Well, I wasn't listening to the stream 5 minutes ago. I was talking to Sparky.
Sparky was on the stream.
Well, I mean, I don't have any concept of time, dude. I'm tired. Give me a break. I was just talking to Sparky and had the stream muted.
Well, it's
So-
gonna be interesting having a conversation if you don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, sure, I guess. So what did you want to talk about?
You were the one that said you wanted on. So
Okay,
you believe that there's no such thing as cyber harassment, cyberbullying, or cyber stalking, correct?
Mhm. Yep.
You're wrong. I pulled up a
Okay.
government website that says you're wrong. Wikipedia, you can argue, but then I brought up a law site that said you're wrong.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so first off, a couple of the places you mentioned, like one was like California, I believe. I mean, California is pretty damn liberal on a lot of things, for one. For two, I agree with most of what Sparky said, actually. So basically, whenever I say cyberbullying isn't real, right? It isn't to say that people don't feel like they're cyberbullied, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's to say that it's not really a real threat. Like, it doesn't, like, 9 times out of 10, like, you're not going to be, like, walking outside mowing the lawn and just be like, oh, gee, golly, you know, I might get cyberbullied on the internet. Like, that's not really a big deal. You can just shut off your phone. You can walk away. You can ignore it. And as I told Sparky, too, I think the term cyberbullying would be more accurate if they called it cyber pestering.
Yeah,
That's really what it is.
The problem with that is that it does have real world consequences. We've seen the real world consequences. Say let's use Pinoid. Pinoid has a bigger audience than both of us, right?
I guess, sure.
I don't know. I haven't seen many of his videos. I don't go to his live streams. I don't know how many people he has in his chat. But I'm assuming. He talks a big game. I don't know. So let's say we'll use Pinoid as an example. Pinoid suddenly blows up and he gets 100,000 subscribers. Okay? Mm-hmm. He has thousands of people in his chat. And he starts talking mad shit, as he would put it, about me. And my information's out there. You know, you've seen it. So people find that information. My last name is out there. It's very easy to find. Yoda tried to come into my chat on Tuesday with my real name. He got it wrong. I'm going to say that again and again and again. But my last name is out there because I'm not taking something down because it was one of my happiest days of my life. So it's really easy to find out where I live from there. Now, I'm not saying we're holding Pinoid accountable for this, but that person then decides he's going to come after me. Or she's going to come after me. That's cyberbullying. That's cyberstalking.
What do you mean going after you? Sorry, can you be more specific?
Finding out my phone number, calling me at all hours of the night. Posting my number on Wiki, what is it, Kiwi Farms. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't consider that cyberbullying?
So calling you on your phone, all right, goes beyond the realm of cyberbullying and goes into illegal activity. All right, which is no longer classified as cyber stalking, cyberbullying. That's actually just classified as harassment.
According to the government website, that is still considered cyberbullying.
Oh God, dude! Like, I don't know if I would go with the government on this one, but I mean, I understand like why you would think that if it came from the internet, but at the same time, like there are ways to get your phone number that doesn't rely on using the internet, and I can still call you repeatedly. Is this still cyberbullying? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, if you isolate calling your phone number in the middle of the night repeatedly over and over from the internet, it's its own separate, unique issue.
It's still something that is considered cyberbullying because of how they got it. Now, if it legit they got it because one of their friends, that is a friend of mine, gave it to them, that's something different. That's okay. The person that we both know gave them my phone number.
And even in this case, you can just block the number, or, you can just, I don't know, not answer the phone. I mean, like, the thing is like, whenever you complain about these things on the internet, about stuff like this, all you're doing is ultimately fueling the issue. You're basically feeding the trolls, so to speak, because this stuff's gonna happen, whether you like it or not. This is an inevitability of being on the internet.
So you and I started to interact again because of Yoda, right?
No.
We can.
Well,
we can agree that you tried to call me saying that I was hoping I was being hyperbolic about something I said about Yoda. Correct?
I actually didn't know it was about Yoda at the time. So, but yeah, I was just going through the thread, so I like whatever.
Other than that,
I thought you were talking about Addy, to be 100% honest.
I haven't talked about Addy since he doxed me. But
fair enough.
So, before that, you hadn't met, as far as I know, because I didn't have your Gilded Poo Twitter blocked or muted or anything. You have not interacted with me since all of that stuff happened. So, one, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Dark. You said you weren't listening, that's fine, so I'm going to reiterate it. Someone responding to every single tweet, and I can tell you how many it was, every single tweet, for 3 days straight. Not just your tweets, but every single response to that tweet, whether it has anything to do with it or not. For 3 days, would you consider that harassing?
I consider that being a pest on the internet.
You're being semantic.
Here's the thing. Being a pest is still a form of harassment.
Look, all you have to do is block it.
In any sphere, it doesn't matter if you can block it or not, being a pest is still a form of harassment. That is one of the things that everybody grows up with. just because you can block somebody does not mean it's not harassment. It doesn't change what the action is. It just is a remedy.
It changes the severity of the action drastically.
It is still a form of harassment. Severity be damned.
It's a form of very minuscule, very pester level harassment.
Semantic. If
it's not semantic.
Okay, dude. If I stood next to you with my finger out and stopping about an inch from you going, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, that's being a pest.
That's being more of a pest than on the internet.
And that is called harassment.
And unlike the internet, I can't just block you.
No, but you can walk away.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask somebody to remove me. Hey, look, there's remedies for it, just like blocking. You are trying to negate the fact that it is harassment by labeling it a certain level of harassment. It does not matter what the severity is. What that level, pest, or say sexually harassing, does not matter. It is still harassment. And that's what you don't want to admit to, is that it is still harassment. It is still wrong.
And the remedy is a click away.
Doesn't matter.
Actually, with Yoda, it's not. Because Yoda is still in every single one of Hitsugi's tweets, and she has him blocked and she's privated.
Well, then she shouldn't be able to see it.
He shouldn't be able to see it.
He has demonstrated multiple times that he has alternative accounts.
So it's really easy to
jump over to those accounts. Further underlines the fact that what he is doing is harassment. He's an excellent example of that.
Oh, and actually, I want to add to something Sparky real quick said. This is like earlier when he was in here. When
you weren't listening?
Yeah. Well, we were talking, but he had said that he was talking something along the lines of, what was it? You can only have so many accounts. I can't remember. But you can have up to 3, and whenever one gets suspended, they're all unusable. And the only remedy for that is if you have like a VPN or something. But
Which
they will start
increasingly common.
Yes. But I'm just adding that
easy.
context for honesty's sake. But at the same time, yeah. Like, to me, it's one of these things where it's just a reality of the situation. And you're never going to get rid of people like that. You can just
I don't want to get rid. I don't want to get rid of him. I don't want him off the internet. And I've done what I thought I was doing was right to get him out of my life, and he's still doing it.
He is still following it around.
So
what happens? How do you defend that this is a negligible harassment when somebody has done what they can to avoid the person, and the person goes around those obstacles to continue it? That takes it, and I don't care what you try and say right here, dude. Because anyone with any logical thought will tell you that takes it from negligible and slightly annoying to something more severe.
I don't know. I had this happen to me several times.
He's going out of his way to do it.
I mean, I've had it done to me too, and I just blocked them. Or I didn't just block them, I muted them and then just ignored them. So, I mean, like, it's pretty easy. I had people go to my Facebook, find where I work, call my fucking work to try to get me fired. All right? And let me tell you what I didn't do. I didn't go on the internet and then whine about it or mention it or even discuss it. Like, by God, like, why would you ever do that? You're giving them merit. When like you don't do that. Like, the point is, it's like, does it suck? Is it a pain in the ass? Is it inconvenient, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? I mean, yes, of course it is. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, it's like a merry-go-round. But at the same time, the important point to point out here is it's not anywhere remotely even applicable to real life. And in real life, I've had far worse fucking things happen to me than this fucking shit on the internet.
No,
This
but
is
the
nothing.
problem is the stuff that happened to you was because of, you said yourself, happened because it was on the internet. They went through your stuff to find you. So it
And that is a
started
textbook
here.
Example as to how cyberbullying and cyber harassment has real life implications and damages.
So
How many
you
people have
blocked
we heard
them.
of being swatted? How many people have you heard of losing their jobs because a bunch of
Okay,
people
but-
called up and their companies had a knee-jerk reaction? We had to go to our company, our boss, and go, hey, we've been doxxed. Just so you know, in case someone does somehow manage to find you, this is what's going on, so that they can have those precautions.
Okay, would you acknowledge that there is a bit of a difference between what Yoda's doing and somebody getting swatted? Like, there's two
No.
completely different things.
Because
I will admit that
difference.
I will admit the difference in severity, but he has the mental. Hold on, he has the mental capacity to go farther because he's not getting what he wants.
He has
I'm not-
demonstrated an increase in his actions. And the more he's being ignored, the more he's being blocked, the more he's escalating.
I'm
And
not here to
escalating is
defend
how
Yoda,
you
by the
end
way.
up in situations like that, which again goes back to our point of cyber harassment and cyberbullying is not something that is simply an annoyance on the internet you can turn off. It is something that can affect your real life. And the more our society moves towards a digital age, the more you have the ability to ruin someone's life offline because you didn't like the tweet. I'm using you as an example, not you specific, so please don't take it
I
back.
understand.
So it's a case of, on a normal basis, somebody in this situation would just be blocked and ignored, and they would go away. They would find a new target because they're not getting their faults. But there are people on the internet, increasing numbers of them for reasons that I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't explain it, but there's an increasing number of people who could be labeled sociopaths who will continue to escalate because they can't lose. In their mind, they are the destroyer of evil, or they are the villain who just wants to watch the world burn. And they want whoever it is they have that their eyes are on, abject in their terror, bowing down to them, acknowledging whatever it is they feel they need. And
Well-
it circles back around to the fact that these things have real life consequences, and those same people don't want to acknowledge it because it's just a game, bro. But it's
Do you know?
not.
You know who I blamed whenever they called my work? I didn't blame them at all. I blamed me.
You
That was
shouldn't have
100.
blamed-
That
it
was
wasn't your fault.
100% my fault. I had where I worked listed, which was a
Okay,
huge
yeah.
mistake. Okay, so like the thing is, it's like, no, this shit, like, when 9 times out of 10, all this stuff is a direct byproduct of people thinking they can just whimsically use the internet without consequences. A, you can't, and B, you shouldn't. And the reason why isn't to say that anybody deserves anything. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, however, is that you should actually go out of your way above and beyond to make sure that your privacy is secure first. And I am a huge fanatic when it comes to self-defense. I run around with a gun, for example. So like
That's
the
what you
reality
got.
the reality of the situation that I'm getting at here is strictly the point that, yeah, I mean, sure, these people might be assholes for doxing people, calling their work, etc., 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 but they wouldn't even be able to do any of that if all of these people didn't have all of that information publicly available for them to find.
See, you
Unfortunately,
just actually backed up our point by using the examples you just did. Yes, you made a mistake. You, however, were affected by something that happened on the internet. And I can tell you right now, you can go on the internet, spend $50, and you can find out anything you want to know about anybody. You need very little information. And it can be information that isn't even something linked to your account, but it can be information dropped because you had a friend on who accidentally used your real name. You can... There are so many ways of doing
Oh yeah,
it.
there's reverse image searches where I can see a picture of your face, and yeah, I know all that. But the point is that I'm getting at is this is a byproduct of being on the internet, and it's a consequence that people have to accept. Like that's my whole point. And so you can be upset about it, you can get mad, you can make live streams, videos, tweets, etc. talking about it, but this is just the reality of the situation. Like I can't sit there and complain criminals exist, because they're going to exist whether or not
you can for sure complain criminals exist. You can it may be useless, but so is, well, okay, talk about useless. We're going to use Yoda for an example again. Okay? You guys did Pinoid's stream, right? You all decided, blanket, every one of you that was on there, that he was persona non grata anymore. He's not in any servers that you guys are in, except for one that I know of. And I'm in there too. And so are you. And that's Gaming and Yelling's server. It doesn't matter that he's not welcome anywhere. He doesn't care. Because he's still getting head pats from other people. So as long as he's getting those head pats from other people, he thinks he's doing the right thing. So yeah, you can complain that criminals exist. Do you want to know why you can complain that criminals exist? Because you're not a criminal. You can have that assumption that people should be decent. You can believe that they're not, but you can assume that people are going to be at least somewhat decent.
You should never assume that. You should assume actually everybody wants the worst for you by default. That should be your life focus.
It should be, but it's not.
When you're walking around.
It should.
Vlad? I'm sorry, we have a difference of philosophy here.
You should not trust anybody. I agree with that. But most people, that's how you get friends. And I'm not talking internet friends, people you've never met. I'm talking about that's how you get people to know people at work. You automatically trust them because they work with you. Because they know.
But yes.
I'm not talking outright trust, but you start talking to them. You start to get to know them. You gave that assumption to them that they were a decent person.
Working in the health field really hurts that view.
Well, that's the health field. Nobody likes working in the health field. It's the same thing as customer service. Everybody hates customer service. The people who work there work in customer service, hate customer service, but there's a camaraderie among the people who work customer service because they've all experienced the bullshit.
I got so many people fired working in the health field in just less than a year because I caught people stealing pills, because I came in assuming everybody I worked with were pill heads from the beginning.
And I mean, that's fine.
So
that's absolutely fine.
I work on the assumption no matter who I'm around, they are A, going to backstab me at a moment's notice, and B, would shoot me if given the opportunity.
See, you are the exception, not the norm.
Well, no, it's not paranoia. It's called self-defense, right? So essentially I refuse to allow myself to. Now granted, I'm not to say that I have friends in real life that I trust with my life, but they are very few. And if you live in a town that's primarily filled with meth heads, you very quickly start losing faith in anybody around you in the community. And so that's kind of the point. And when I go on the internet, do you know what the difference between the internet and what I grew up with my whole life is? Basically nothing. Everybody on the internet is exactly the same.
But you are the exception. You are not the rule. That's the thing. I mean,
then the rule needs to then people need to stop being naive. And
unfortunately that takes time. Social media has been around for what, 10 years? 15 years? Now, I'm not talking about MySpace. MySpace was something complete. I'm talking about Facebook, Twitter, YouTube's been around for what, 15? This stuff is still relatively new. We have an entire generation of people that are going to grow up knowing the things that you are already assuming people should know. The people that didn't grow up with this, all three of us here remember the sound of hooking up to AOL and a 56K modem.
Yep.
Okay? That doesn't mean that we AOL chat rooms were like the Wild West. You couldn't trust anybody, but people did implicitly because they automatically assumed that people were being honest. You are the exception as of right now, not the norm. And I agree that the norm does need to change. The problem is it's not going to change for another generation. So what we have to deal with are people who are going outside of the realms of what is capable of people just not dealing with them, to avoid that, to continue to go after them. Like, I know your name. I know it's not Vlad. I know your name. We talked about this after it happened.
Well, you know my first name, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to know your last name. But I know your name because of what happened to you. I don't want Yoda coming into a chat of yours, or Pinoid's, or mine, or Hitsugi's, or Trippy's, or anybody's. I don't want him going into Gaming and Yelling's chat with your full name.
Well, for the record, I want to make this very, very clear. I want to make two things clear, because since we keep talking about Yoda, and this is mostly for other people's sake. One, okay, I don't give a shit about the Hitsugi drama anymore. If you didn't notice on Twitter, I bowed out. Okay?
I don't
make this very important point. It's not for you. I made this clear again. This is for people that are watching this drama and Trippy, so nothing gets confused. Secondly, and this is very important too, at the time that I was involved, I did not approve of Yoda doing that, and have publicly said so several times, referring to him saying Hitsu's name. So I'm making this very abundantly clear.
We're not trying. The point of the stream is not to dunk on a specific person. Unfortunately, Yoda has been the best example and the most recent.
Oh, I understand. This is for other people that so people that come in and call me a liar for so if they get confused about your stream, that's all I'm doing. I'm
you know for a fact they're not going to listen to any of it.
Yeah.
You and I have been on a stream before where I put out facts and they got twisted.
They'll spin these facts to say whatever.
Well, I'm talking about Trippy and them, the people I made this deal with that I was bowing out. That's what I'm trying to prevent here.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. I
don't want to make it look like I'm reneging on the deal, so to speak. So.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. As long as you're making that clear to them, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just for them. Essentially, what I have to say though is that first off, I don't know. First off, the internet is far less bad than it was when I was growing up. This cyberbullying thing has been discussed for decades. All right. And it's one of those things where it how it was when I was a kid or when I was younger was so much worse than it is right now.
Oh, that I agree with 100%.
Absolutely.
So I'm having difficulty taking all of this seriously, at all nowadays because of that. Sure, again, is it fucked up and or inconvenient or whatever fucking words anybody wants to use for Yoda, as per your example, doing this to whomever? I mean, sure, I guess it's inconvenient for them. I use a different example other than Yoda. Zell going after you that one time over and over and over. Is that inconvenient? I meant,
do not get distracted.
I meant one time as far as the whole event, not not one tweet. But
you're not
I'm
saying,
I
know this is not what you're trying to do, but what you're actually doing is just supporting our thesis that cyberbullying and cyber harassment are real things, they are serious things, and they can have real world repercussions.
What I'm
You're
saying,
just backing it up.
What I'm saying is that the first thing that everybody should do is protect themselves first. And that is to ensure that all this stuff is not even on the internet to begin with. Everybody, if you try to start a YouTube channel, you should probably talk to your local authorities and have a conversation with them about this possibility. And actually, any cop would tell you this. All right. And then there's a lot of things you should do because, yes, is this a thing that actually happens? Absolutely. But to me, it's like the zombies in Walking Dead. It's just an obstacle. It's just something that's there. You just block, walk away, ignore it, they go away. Like if everybody just ignored Yoda, if everybody made an effort to completely block Yoda and then repeatedly block his other accounts and then just straight up ignore him and say nothing further at all, period, not discuss it, not make streams, just do nothing, he would get bored.
Are you sure about that?
Yes,
he's still going.
Mm.
This has been going on for months.
But he knows, but he keeps doing it because he knows he's going to get people making videos and streams and tweets talking about him doing it. The people have been talking about it from the beginning, and they should have been just ignoring it. And this is the whole point that I'm making. You know, like it's obvious to me. Like, you know, and
yeah, but you're also trying to get 10, 15 different personalities. And I'm not talking about mental person. I'm talking to 10 or 15 different personalities, whether they're on Twitter or on YouTube or whatever, to collectively agree. And they don't.
That's their fault.
Or Yoda could just not do it.
But that's not going to happen, is it? If you know he's not going to stop.
Again, we're talking about crime. You can use the example of crime. You can still complain about a criminal. I can complain about the idiots that rob, you know, CVS in California for $900 because they know they're not going to get prosecuted. That still has effects around everybody else. So I can complain about that because I'm a decent person. They're the criminal.
But you're feeding the troll. That's my point.
Anybody who does anything for attention is going to want to continue to get attention. Just like, okay, I blocked you a while ago, right? When all the shit happened with Zell and Adamantine and everything, I blocked you. What did you do? Because I blocked you, you got pissed and went to your other fucking accounts and still came at me.
Well, hold on. I didn't get mad. I chuckled, but yes, I did.
So I did what I was supposed to do, and you still did it.
And you still blocked that other account.
I did.
Did you notice that I eventually stopped and got bored?
Months later. And then when they come back, because they did, there was a circular thing that they would do. They would go to their targets because they were bored. You still joined in.
You got to be more specific. Sorry, my memory's shaky on all of that.
When they would come back after me, when Zell and Addie would come back after me, calling and going after my family.
Oh, you're talking about like the same session of events. Sorry, I thought you meant like years later I came back.
No, because they over the first year that it happened, they would stop for 3 months, and then I would be brought up again, and they would start coming at me again, and you would be in their replies and joking right along with them, instead of leaving it alone because I left you alone. So it doesn't work that way. Even though I wasn't giving you attention, you still were doing things to try and get attention.
But hold on. But I still stopped. And also, I wasn't adding you in it. Like, I wasn't doing the same thing Yoda's doing. I didn't go like, actually, you know, I didn't even know that you could be blocked and then still actually like at somebody.
You're not supposed to be able to.
Tweet.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to, but you can. They don't see it, but it still happens in a reply. So the people who follow them still see that reply because they're there. That's how Twitter works. Twitter.
Yeah, also, whoever said doxing is illegal is just wrong. It isn't. Unfortunately, there are aspects of doxing that are illegal, but those aspects of doxing get into completely different territory, such as blackmail, you know, or publicly posting like people's social security numbers and shit. Like like, you know, like that doxing, like finding somebody's first name is doxing, and that's not illegal. So I don't know why there's all these people like saying this dumb shit in there, but this was established a long time ago. But anyway, yeah, so to the Yoda thing, or not Yoda thing, the me thing. going after you. Like, first off, like, yeah, I reacted to it. Like, everybody comments on drama. I mean, I mean, like, hell, for example, you muted me, and then people's responses to me, you still liked their posts and said things to them. I mean, that's kind of the nature of the game, isn't it?
Well, I'm still getting their responses. I just don't see yours. So I'm still seeing what they're saying, and I can agree with that. And I didn't see what you said, but I can assume, and I understand it's assuming, but I can assume what you said by their response. And if I hit like, I hit like. I hit likes on Zach's posts and Kadunt. I mean, and that's dealing with Yoda's stuff.
Okay, when you said react to it, I was thinking you meant the like button. Sorry.
Oh no, I'm talking about like actual responses. Like I didn't respond to you.
Back then, it was mostly GIFs that I responded with. Actually, there were several times that me and Zell just did like GIF offs, if you want to call it that. So, like, we were just posting GIFs back and forth in Twitter threads. Actually, back then, I was even posting bestiality and scat at people too.
I didn't see it.
This isn't a new event.
It's still not the right thing to do.
Okay, so the reason, by the way, that even happened was actually just because they were told several times to let it go, and I would shut up, and they kept going, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll get them to actually have something to talk about, you know, and that was my logic with it. And secondly, also, by the way, I need to correct you on something. This is something that you can even drag Sparky back in if you want to, because this whole this was what you said was about the dead cats thing. The part of that was factually incorrect. All right. So the reason that happened was because Sparky had taken a picture of his microphone and he put a sock on it. And I said, you need to get a dead cat, which is lingo for the
cover on the microphone. I remember,
right.
Believe me.
Yeah, and then I said, you know what it is, and he said yes or something to that effect, and then I posted a picture of a dead cat. It wasn't until you came in and complained about it that I spammed pictures of dead cats.
I did not. I saw 4 of them before I said something, and that was when
maybe it was Sparky that said that. Then
you had spammed 4 or 5 images of dead cats, and then I said something.
Okay, well, maybe it was Sparky then, I could be wrong, but somebody said don't do that, blah, 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 and then I did it, like, you know, more times after that. Because, like, of course, like, if you say don't do this, that's the very first thing I'm going to do. You know?
I didn't tell you not to do it. I just said it was gross I just said it was gross and disgusting. You came back with more dead cats, and I blocked you.
Yeah, then that must have been Sparky that said not to do it. My apologies. But no, the thing is, ultimately, is that, no, like, same thing with the bestiality and scat, by the way. All that had to be said was, ew, gross, and left it alone.
Yes, but that means you're determining what you believe that how they should act, which puts you on a more, you thinking you have a moral high ground on their behavior.
I have no moral high ground when posting scat and bestiality.
You're still demanding that they act a certain way, or they respond a certain way. They don't have to.
Oh, no, you're right. They don't have to respond at all, which would be ideal. Like,
you just said you knew you were posting something that was going to get them to say something.
Yes, because
you went out of your way to do it. And as far as I know, you're just now back on your account.
Yes.
You can't.
You're awfully informed. I mean, actually, you know what we learned about this, by the way? None of those posts were deleted by Twitter, so Twitter approves.
Well, unfortunately, Twitter also had an instance of actual child porn on their fucking site, and they didn't take it down.
No, I remember one time where that happened, and I had a small army of people helping me report it, and it was still there.
That's because Twitter has some serious issues about following their own guidelines. It does not make it right.
And these are the same, I'm not saying it is, and this is the same Silicon Valley people, by the way, that say, you know, cyberbullying is a crime, right? So anyway, the point I'm getting at with that, though, is like, I'm not saying that it's right, and I'm not saying that it's wrong, all right? In fact, to make a very important point, and one thing Antoine was right about in his video or stream about me, I don't care about what's right and wrong. I care about what's illegal and not illegal. And that's my bottom line. So the reality, if it was legal to just walk outside and shoot somebody in the left knee, I wouldn't be complaining about it. Just be like, okay, well, I guess it's legal then, whatever. Now, if I wanted to become a politician and change it, then I get the right to complain. Or if I wanted to vote for a politician that wanted to change it, then that's something else too, right? But the bottom line is simply, like if you're trying to come at me with weird morals and shit and moral high ground this and oh, my morals, my principles, like you're literally talking to a brick wall. I will do, all you're doing is you're telling me all of your buttons. That's all you're doing. It's like whenever you get in a fight in school and they say no nut kicking, first thing you do is kick him in the balls.
Wow.
I mean, hey, whenever the bottom line ultimately is there's a difference between, people that grew up around, 4chan, which, by the way, does and did have bestiality porn on it. Just Google 4chan bestiality.
I don't want to do that.
Google
And
bestiality in general and find it.
yeah, well, I mean,
Just fucking Google.
well, he said in his video that 4chan had a rule against bestiality, which isn't true. Most of those pictures, actually, that I posted and GIFs came from 4chan. So, but the thing is, though, is there's people like me that grew up in that, where there was no holds barred, fucking balls to the wall, fucking trolling, right? And then there's everybody else and their moral sensitivities.
I got sent a document that is Crichton Law Review. Zio Gold, thank you, but this is a lot to go through. I don't have anything that I can... Like, the intro is political hacktivism, doxing, and the First Amendment, but this is...
Asks them to provide the law.
God damn! How many pages
that
is
it is
this?
illegal to dox someone.
It
So
again,
that's
it
what they went
depends.
down.
It depends entirely on what the dox is, because again, as I said, if you're doxing people in so much as you're getting their home address and following them through their house, or if you're blackmailing them, these are things that are already illegal without the incorporation of the internet. That can technically fall under doxing, but again, are technically already illegal. Like when it comes to people's name, if I went and I posted Sparky's name on the internet that I got from a Google search, that's not illegal. There's no law against that whatsoever.
Well, and someone's name is not necessarily doxing. That kind of evolved from when doxing first started to now. I mean, the whole thing that happened with Cinder Shadow and Cody was about that. And even that, my opinion has changed greatly. Doxing isn't necessarily the name. It's what you do with the information that you have because of the name.
Yes.
So, and since we all agree, I want to clarify something. Since we all agree that names are not doxes, can you agree that the bullshit that was spread about me being a doxer with Zell is complete and utter BS?
Well, I mean, I never agreed with Zell at the time.
So you agree that I'm not a doxer?
Yeah, I never called you a doxer. In fact, basically, first off, I had this discussion with Zell at the time, and I said that you were no more a doxer than he was, because you both did the exact same thing.
Yeah, but I'm the one that got labeled a doxer.
Yeah, you posted his first name with the first letter changed, and then he did the same thing back. If I'm not mistaken, he
did it. He's been doing it first, and I finally got tired of it and did it back.
Either way,
my point is,
hold point, guys. This
No,
is
I
not...
want to clarify, because I'm the one that got labeled a doxer for a name. So
And to make things even more specific, whenever my first name got leaked, if you remember, I even made a video saying that I was not doxed because I didn't consider that doxing then or now. It was just a name. You know, like that's so like I've never agreed with that narrative.
Zio Gold's right. I got labeled a lot of things because of that.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is like what I got, labeled with just and actually, in fact, I remember even having voice conversations with Sparky saying that I didn't agree that's what that was. The point I'm making here is that like I got labeled with a lot of shit just because I was talking to Zell, of whom I no longer talk to. So the fact is, like, we can go on the victimhood thing all day, but whether people want to accept it or not, guilt by association is as much of a reality as cyberbullying.
No, guilt by association is a real thing, though. Like that's what my point of that little rant at the beginning of my last stream was. You doing something horrible and people being around you that are your friends who don't call you out on it when they call other people out on it is bullshit, because you're doing something that they know is wrong, but they're justifying it for you. And that's what they're doing. That is guilt by association, because it's an actual reality. The more people who tell you that that's something bad and they're people you trust, it will get you to stop. And that's human behavior, because you don't want to piss off your friends.
Okay, first off, that is absolutely wrong on two counts. One, no, I will happily lose a friend.
Again, you have been the exception because of how you see things to the actual norm of what people are.
Okay, hold on. But secondly, no, I'm just gonna say the same. They are just gonna say the exact same thing to you that you said to me whenever we were talking about whatever drama a long time ago, which is they're going to say, well, we can't control Vlad.
I have never said I can't control you. But no, the excuse of
not control Sparky. And that's what the reference was. Because we were talking about how Sparky said something and you should tell him not to say that. And then you were like, well, I can't control what Sparky does. And it's the same logic here.
My issue is, and I did talk to Sparky. You can ask him. All of the things that you guys kept saying, you need to tell Sparky, Sparky and I talked.
Well, you were talking about public shaming, right? Calling me out in public.
No, I called you out in public, but your friends can say, dude, that's not cool.
Okay, but...
And instead,
are you wanting them to do that in public or in private?
They can do it whenever. But instead, what you got was Pinoid telling you that that's funny shit and comparing it to just posting big black women porn. Those are two completely different things. Okay,
let me tell you something. He was being humble. He's posted a lot worse shit than that. Second, especially to me. Secondly, and this is very important too, all right? Everybody didn't just go, oh yeah, Vlad, good job for posting that. Do you want to know exactly how many people looked at those tweets? You, presumably, Trippy and Monkey, and maybe a few other people. Nobody else would even dare to look at that. In fact, all the rest of the people that you would group up in that all said that's gross and disturbing, and never ever once said good job, good on you, except for, I guess, Pinoid. So the point I'm getting at is you're greatly overestimating or underestimating what they said or what they thought or what have you. I can even send you screenshots. I don't want
screenshots of weird porn that you posted.
No, not that. I meant I can send you screenshots of DMs where I linked it and then their response to it. And one person even straight up said, you probably shouldn't do that. You're going to get suspended. So the point I'm making here is whether or not they approve isn't going to stop me.
Again, you are the exception to the rule.
You can't
maybe
everybody by how you see things.
I disagree. I think that's honest.
No, that's
No, it's
assuming
not.
that you are exactly like everybody else, and
No,
you're
no,
not.
no, 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 no. Not exactly. I hold everybody to the same standards I hold myself to.
Which are none, apparently.
Yeah, well, no, I hold myself to some standards. Like, for example, do you see me posting child porn?
Okay, so your great standard is you don't post child abuse pictures, but you post
Pretty
animal
good
abuse.
standard.
No, that's not a good standard because that means everything else below it is okay.
No,
That's not
everything.
good.
So, for example, another thing I refuse to post is usually things that involve like gruesome murder. Like, I don't post that shit.
You posted mutilated cats.
No, those weren't mutilated. They were actually roadkill.
That's mutilation.
Mutilated.
But,
This was
not
not
really.
done by
That's-
humans for malicious intent.
I mean, that's what
Jesus
mutilated
Christ.
means. But anyway, the point is,
mutilated
I don't.
does not mean that.
But I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't care. The point is, I don't care about fucking cats. I don't care about dogs. They're not human to me. They're beneath me.
So your standards that you judge everybody else on are bottom barrel standards. You are the exception to the rule.
Not well. I mean, when it comes to social media, yes. If we were talking about like, I don't know, like more real life shit, like no, like, I'm not gonna hang out with people that has to do with that have to do with meth, right? I don't hang out with meth heads. I don't hang out with fucking crazy lunatics. I don't hang out, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I have standards, but when it comes to the internet, yeah, it's lax. But then again,
Lax,
like,
they're
I wanna
almost
make
non-existent.
but I want to make the point, if you like, you could make the argument I'm still stuck in early 2000s internet. So that's kind of where the point is like where I come from internet wise, this shit's nothing. This is the definition of a nothing burger, to quote an idiot.
Problem is, Vlad, it is no longer the 2000s internet. It is no longer the world of
I know people
the
got
early
cowardly. I
2000s.
get it. Yeah.
Time has changed. Society has
People,
evolved.
yeah.
People interact differently on the internet now. The internet is such an integral part of everybody's lives.
Not
Just
really, no.
function.
Yeah, that's
Go
not.
sign up
no.
for bank accounts. See how many times they ask you for an email address.
Oh, okay,
Even
but
just that is a basic function of life. There are companies now that don't contact you through any other way but
the bank
email.
isn't going to harass you on the internet.
No. The point that I'm making, Vlad, is that you are judging everybody by your mindset, which is stuck about 20 years in the past, whereas everybody else is
Damn,
reacting
was
to
that long
how
ago?
the world is today.
Well, how the world is today is the problem.
Yes.
So
We have
and so
to live with this problem, which means that the whole topic of this stream, which is cyberbullying and cyber harassment, is a problem.
well, I would say
wrong, and has real life consequences, is an applicable thing.
the problem is there's too many normies that got on the internet. That's really what the bottom line is. And secondly,
It doesn't change the premise of the stream.
this shit.
Put on the stream. It doesn't matter if it's normies or not normies, or if it's people who grew up on it and are jacked in through cybernetics in their head sometime in the future. It does not matter. What matters is the fact that these things are how it's working today. And these things are real and have real life implications. You have repeatedly backed up that premise and then immediately spun off into semantics trying to counter your own arguments.
What I've
Sitting
done
here
is
listening
victim
to you do
blamed.
it.
What I've done is victim blamed, if you want to be hyper technical. Basically, what I've done this
What
whole
a
time
good
is,
look!
well, but here's the thing. If you think I care about look, that's where you're wrong. For one,
That
for
is
two,
not the defense you think it is.
yeah, there's a funny fucking repetitive line. But anyway, ultimately, optics are irrelevant to me. For one, for two, and what's really important is this stuff that's going on the internet right now that you're talking about. The subject of this stream is a fact of reality, and you get two choices whenever you see that. Choice number one is to just ignore it, to block and walk. Choice number two is to just, or actually get 3, and then you get that, and then you get to protect yourself by not allowing any of that information to be easily accessible in the first place. And the third option you get is to just, walk away. And that's kind of the point here, right? Like, so like you can say like, oh, you're supporting my point because these things are things that are bad that happen to you, and these things are actually bad, blah, 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 blah. That's cool. But at the same time, there's no utility in complaining about it. So in other words, what I'm saying is the overwhelming majority of all these things that everybody's complaining about here is nothing. Shit like what Yoda's doing is nothing. And if he started swatting people, right?
That would still be nothing, right?
Well, my question, no, it wouldn't. But instead, my question would immediately be, how did he get your address? And how is that? And
he
why
paid
is it your
$50
address
to
publicly
he paid $50 to a private investigator and got the address.
Okay, well then, if that's the case, then the issue isn't even the cyber bullying. The issue ultimately is that those tools exist to be taken advantage of, and then instead you should be talking.
So
about
then you are saying that the swatting is no big deal because of the means that he got it.
No.
Yes, because that's exactly what you said. You're blaming the means on how he got it instead of the person.
No, what I'm saying is the swatting.
Blaming the gun instead of the person who pulled the gun.
No, I'm saying people get shot. Okay, and at the end of the day, banning the gun is doing things. The gun is the guy that the private investigator, so to speak. Make that illegal. If it is a federally regulated, which it is, private investigator license, and he pays them to say, I have this name, I need to know their address. The private investigator doesn't ask why he needs the address. All he does is take money. It's transaction. Yeah.
So you're blaming the tool, not the person.
And the guy that paid the money. Yes. Like, that should not be able for the person to pay for that. And that person should not, I would agree, should not be able to pay for that either. Or should not be able to want to, I should say.
Shouldn't be able to want to. He shouldn't be able. Wait, hold on. You're saying, we're using Yoda as an example. Yoda shouldn't be able to want to get the information about somebody.
An address, yes. I'm being very specific here.
So then that means any job that wants your address is illegal. Anybody who is trying to get you to sign up for a Best Buy gift card or a Best Buy credit card, that's illegal because they want your address. I don't think they hire a private investigator. No, but they want to get the address.
Background checks.
Okay, but the background checks are federal.
Background check.
The background checks are federally.
Investigator with the license is a federally backed individual.
Yes, and
it's the exact same thing. It's not
the same thing.
Oh
it's not the same thing as Yoda going to a private investigator saying, this random dude on the internet, see, here's his YouTube account, I want his address. That's not the same. These are two totally different things. The intent is completely different. And that's the point I'm making.
Okay.
The intent is to harass.
Stopping this part of the conversation because intent is like motive. It's not part of an investigation until it's the weakest fucking part of the investigation. Jumping back to something else that you were saying. You laid out 3 steps that people can do to protect themselves and to do their part to stop and prevent being cyber harassed. You said protect their information. Okay, Matt's done that. Block them. Hey, Matt did that too. And then you said walk away. All 3 things Matt has either done or attempted to do. So
we disagree on point 1.
Okay, protecting your information. Matt basically went through and wiped as much as he possibly could from any connections he has. There are some things you're not going to be able to scrub because everything's online now. All you need to do is hire a private investigator.
But he only scrubbed after.
Well, yeah, because until you see the threat happening, you don't think about the threat. Not everybody's paranoid like you are.
That's the problem. Maybe they should be. You shouldn't be just running into a pool
Does not matter.
expecting there not to be an
matter right
alligator.
now.
You shouldn't just walk down the street thinking there's not some guy there that might shoot you. Like you can't just do all this fucking shit, like lollygagging, expecting no consequences and everything's hunky dory and safe. I mean, come on, like, what the fuck?
That's called severe paranoia.
That's not paranoia.
Yes, you're paranoid.
Level that you're at, because believe it or not, most people are not monsters.
Hey, you know what? You should be paranoid when you're on the internet. There's viruses you can get. I mean, fuck it, cyberbullying for 20 seconds. There's a host of things that can go wrong when you access the internet. You should be paranoid of the internet. Oh, you get antivirus software. Why would you do that? You don't have a virus. You don't wait till you get a virus to get antivirus.
It's the same reason. It's the same reason you buy car insurance.
Yep.
Car insurance allows you to not have to worry, where you can focus on going where you need to go. So virus software, antivirus software, allows you to go to wherever you need to go and not think that you're going to get a Trojan virus or be whatever it is. And also, they teach classes on driving. They don't do that for the internet, which they should. But common sense. Don't go to a Russian website and click a weird link. Don't go to a Chinese website and click a weird link. Don't go to any website where there's pop-ups and click the pop-up. The only reason we know not to do that now is because idiots, when the internet first came out, did that then.
Every single warning label on a product is there because some moron did it.
Yes, but we already
all the industrial precautions and OSHA and all that, they are there because someone did it.
Yes, I agree.
And
we've all
evolved first. That is how we learn that things are wrong. We don't.
And we all know.
State of constant paranoia to do things. But I'm trying to get back to my original point that I was going to say before we went off on this stupid tangent. So, here's what I'm saying. And by the way, honey, I'm getting hangry. In case you can't tell, I would like dinner soon. So, going back to my original.
We will end after you make your point.
Good. Prior to this current situation, Matt did all three of the things that you said. That person has gone around it. Other people can go around those precautions and still continue it. That is classic harassment with an intent to bully. And you should, given what you've suggested in your life, should probably understand how it is to be bullied and recognize it from that situation. I did, because I remember what it was like. It fucking sucked. And it is still going on. It's just moved online. And when someone goes around... yes, it has, dumbass.
Dude, no. I don't get the shit... I don't get physically attacked on the internet. So no, like when I say bullying, I don't mean teasing.
You realize bullying
I don't mean harassing.
Physical dumb.
No. I know people like to wrap it up in this weird, random, like I'm a sensitive snowflake bubble. But no, if somebody isn't physically attacking you, if somebody is not physically attacking you, it's not bullying.
Yes, it
That's
is.
Just the bottom line. No, I don't care.
You understand that psychological warfare is a thing. It is actually a social thing that has been adapted for military purposes. That is part of bullying. Not all bullying is physical.
Tweets are psychological warfare? Since when?
If you push someone hard enough, constantly enough, with an attack of any sort, it becomes a psychological effect. Because I've seen it happen.
Hey, you know what? As it said, as the law of nature, get strong or die. That's the bottom line.
You are a horrible, horrible person. Plain and simple.
Okay.
You are a horrible person because you have demonstrated in this stream extreme paranoia, a complete lack of empathy.
No,
and
not paranoia whatsoever.
To look around and consider that your way of life is not everybody else's.
It should be.
No,
That's my prescription.
it should not be. In
Okay,
fact.
well, then you're right. Everybody should go on the internet, despite knowing that doxing is a possibility, and just blindly walk into it and then complain when it happens and take no steps
There is a
to
difference
prevent it.
between taking basic precautions like getting car insurance and the level of paranoia that you are
There,
espousing.
that's not
They are
paranoia. You
completely
should go
different
in on the
things.
internet. The internet is the Wild West. You should know this when you go in. That is
The internet
effective
is no
reality.
longer the Wild West.
It
It
it's
was-
still with a lot of
See, the
whiners,
problem is you said yourself, you're from the original internet. I grew up on it too. I've just evolved. You decided to stay right there. That's
I mean,
it.
Hey, if you call it evolving, if you call like basically being really sensitive, evolving, then I guess I will never evolve.
I bet when a kid falls down, you don't feel any sympathy for them. You just say, "Get up, slugger," and walk it off.
Yeah. It depends on how bad the fall is. If it's just a tiny little scrape, then yes. If a kid broke its fucking leg, no, you're wrong. You know, but if it was
He shouldn't.
like, you know,
He should have taken precaution and not broken his leg.
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean,
That he should have grown up or died.
Hold on.
No, that's
You can't apply this-
your.
You can't apply this to children because they're barely people. All right, they don't. Their brains are evolving. They're not even
5 and less,
learning
they're
anything.
barely people. 5 and above, they're people.
I mean, but their brains are still evolving.
Your brain
brain
is
doesn't
evolving
stop
until
with-
you're 25.
Well, between
So
25
okay,
and-
we
between
so
22
that
and
means
26, yeah.
so that means anybody
But-
that is below the age of 25 doesn't get to be held accountable for what they did
But-
because they're still evolving. They're not actually
But-
people.
I mean,
And then
okay. You know what? You're right. You know what? Fuck it. Let's hold children accountable. So when a 5-year-old shoots its mother, let's try it as an adult. Is
They
that
have.
what you're going with, and do you agree with that?
If
I
there was
don't.
intent, yes.
I don't agree with
Children
it
are
at all.
malicious fucking creatures.
I mean,
Trust me,
sure.
I've got a
yeah,
lot
why-
of
well, I
nieces and
mean,
nephews.
I'm not going to
People
disagree
do.
with you. I'm not going to disagree with that. No, I mean, I agree with that. Sure. I mean, they are very malicious with their naivety.
You don't spend a lot of
Absolutely.
time around kids, do you?
I have a kid.
Then you should know.
I just agreed with you, so I do know. Did I not just say I'm not going to argue with you at all that children are malicious? Did I not just say that?
You came off very sarcastically. If I misinterpreted that, my apologies.
No, I was laughing because it was true. Sorry. So, but no, like I have. See, there she is in the background.
Oh, she sounds cute. Sorry, you don't have to tell me that if you don't want to. She sounds adorable, though.
Yeah, she's almost 7.
That's a great age.
Yeah, and honestly, though, I will die on this hill. If she shot me in the head, I would not want her tried as an adult, even though I'd be dead, so it wouldn't matter. So, like I'm just saying, like, no, I do not hold kids to that standard. So at least on this level, I'm less inhuman, I guess.
That's nice to know.
Well, we
So-
found something that you are less inhuman on, and we are going to end it there because we have been
let's end on
going.
this good note.
So, okay. Well, thank you for coming on, Vlad. I was not mean to you, I don't think. We had a discussion. You don't have to mute yourself. Did you mute him? You didn't mute him, did you?
I'm talking to my kid. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
All right, so I'm going to put you back in the waiting room, and we're going to close the stream here. So, I don't think I was mean at all. I think we had a discussion. I enjoy discussion. Ishtar is probably going to be giving me hangry look for a while.
Yup.
So,
Because I've only had apples and pretzels since we got home.
okay, we were going to go get food. Yeah. So, thank you guys. Whether you agree or disagree, that's fine. I guess the things that we can take away from this is basically just don't be a dick. It's the easiest way to say things. So,
And it is not as hard as most people think.
so
For most people.
thank you for joining us for this long. Thank you for sticking with it. I know this is a longer stream than normal. I wasn't expecting it to go almost 3 hours. So, Zio Gold says give Ish a steak.
Yes, please.
So, thank you very much again, guys. And I will see you guys. There will not be a Last Vox this Sunday. There's no stream on Saturday. We are going to be out of town. We're going to be going to go visit my in-laws and a bunch of other family members that are coming down from all over. So I will see you.
Oh my God, so many people.
So we will see you guys on Tuesday for MSNBC. And oh boy, have a good night, everybody.